What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Been a while, but we are here. Welcome back to another episode installment of the Casually Chelsea Show. I am Marshalldbdx, your host, accompanied by the panel of Oliver Twist, Will, and the one and only Curry Pirate. We have a jam-packed show for you guys, but before we continue this show, as always, smash those likes, subscribe to the channel, help us get to 3K subscribers, hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever we go live, check out the links in the description, leave a comment down below if you're watching us in the future, and check out our memberships, all of them. Membership starting at 99p with a bunch of awesome emojis you have access to, as well as other ones coming in the future and other perks as well. But ladies and gents, in today's show, we're going to have a bunch of things to discuss with you guys, including the Michael Olise rumors, Tosin ADARABIOYO, here we go, as well as Osimhen now being off. But first topic to start our day today is UCL. It just happened yesterday. Real Madrid now winning their 16th ever Champions League title. Toni Kroos getting sent off and retiring from club football in the most prestigious way, in the highest of honors, winning the Champions League. And yeah, it was a lot of storylines were in the forefront for this UCL. Jude Bellingham returning coming to his first Champions League final, I believe, and now being face to face with his former club. Toni Kroos, like we said, retiring. Marco Reus, his final game for Dortmund as well. And Mats Hummels potentially being his final game for Dortmund and his final game for club football as well. But ladies and gents, that game yesterday, a little bit of a boring one. I'm going to keep it 100%. A little bit boring one for me, at least. The first half, I thought Dortmund really did have the chances to seal away and do some damage to Real Madrid early in onset. But unfortunately, just clinicality, Adeyemi not being able to get the right touch to, get past the keeper and then put it behind Courtois. Was that Courtois' first game back since injury?
It was first or second, I think.
Still a lot of pressure and really risky to put Courtois back in after being out for most of the season, pretty much the whole season.
Yeah,
and that just goes to show just how much Ancelotti, trusts Courtois. And then who was the striker? Farborg? Frost? Can't remember the. Fulkrug. Thank you. Sorry, his name escaped me for a hot minute. Fulkrug also getting a header straight at the keeper, straight at Courtois in a really good opportunity as well. And then, Real Madrid just do what Real Madrid do, and they find a way to get into the game, and a set piece that Carvajal just gets a header on, a corner rather, I should say. There was already warning signs for that corner. And then you have Maatsen that just, I forget which one came first, but I think Maatsen error came second.
Yeah.
Maatsen passes the ball, and unfortunately, the ball gets intercepted. And there you go. The deal is done. The game is finished, and Real Madrid win their 16th UCL 2-0. A little heartbreaking, unfortunate for Maatsen, very unlucky, and unlucky for Dortmund. It was one of those games that you really, really need to take your chances when they come, because you're not going to get many with Real Madrid. But ladies and gents, I'll leave it to you guys. What are your thoughts overall on the game yesterday? Jesus Christ, Prime. I'll give it to you, Oliver, or you can start us off, man.
Yeah, it wasn't a game of great quality by any stretch of the imagination. To be honest, most UCL finals aren't really. It's often a very cagey affair because it's such a big occasion, and both teams want to win it. But at the end of the day, Real Madrid do what Real Madrid do best, and they turn up, they know what the job is, and they don't sweat. Even when Dortmund have their chances, they don't lose confidence or anything. They know what the objective is, and at the end of the day, they find a way to get the job done, even though they didn't keep a clean sheet, but they still managed to do it. And that's just the mentality of Real Madrid. You know, it's inevitable, and it's really a sight to behold how they can do this against pretty much any team in the world. And you know, they are probably the best run club in the world, and stuff like this, you know, the mentality and the quality of the players as well, that all speaks to it. So deserving winners in the end, and nothing more really.
Will, do you think Real Madrid's ruining football?
Not really. Obviously, the way they're run, it's not really changed, has it? Since they've been dominant in the past. I think, if anything, it shows the lack of ambition from other clubs. I mean, there have been periods where clubs like Man City, Liverpool for a brief stretch, even us have been able to compete at that top level too, but it's just not as consistent as Real Madrid. And I think, I don't think anyone else can be run like Real Madrid though, to be honest.
Can I just reply to that question? Yeah. So
yeah,
I think for me, the thing at Real Madrid that has kind of I would argue set them apart, because I was speaking about this yesterday while we were watching the game, is obviously the president, right?
Florentino,
right. Florentino Perez, like, and this thing, and like this thing that he's been doing at the football club. But as I've said before, there's been a lot of clubs like Real Madrid. There's been Liverpool that have done it at times. There've been other major clubs. United, as you've seen, was another example of like a Real Madrid consistently winning every single time. Maybe not necessarily in Europe, but obviously Premier League, right? You've seen it now with Man City. But eventually, what happens is this: they eventually something changes, or something just like ends, and then they go through a period of where the dominance essentially ends. And I think for me with Real Madrid, I honestly believe the moment once maybe a Florentino Perez leaves the club or something else happens, you know what I mean? I feel like they will go through that period of like where it's just very, very quiet. That's what it is, bro.
Does anyone agree with him?
Or disagree? I disagree. At least for the next 15 years, I don't think they're going to fall off. They have a great scouting network. It doesn't need to be.
But I think Curry P, I didn't say it doesn't need to be, but I said eventually. Once one of
yes, but that's like saying everything in the world ever in time.
But that's the real. But then,
that's the most generic statement ever.
It doesn't need to be
a very generic statement.
But it's not a generic statement because it doesn't.
Because Man City will eventually fall off. Chelsea will eventually rise and fall off. Everything will fall off and rise. That's a very generic.
That is true.
That is true. But the reality is, Florentino Perez is 77 years old. He's leaving sometimes. Eventually, big man has to leave in the next 3 to 4 years, if you're being honest. Right? Because then he's going to be... I don't think there's going to be anyone that's going to be managing or being the president of a football club at the age of 81. Right? So once he leaves, that's when you're going to see like the reality. And again, you know, it's all well... We can keep on saying they've got all these top players in the world right now. But what's to say an injury happens to Vinny Jr. that he can't recover from? What's to say again?
So sad. They have Mbappe who plays in the left wing. They have
but the point,
they have Arthur Güler who plays right wing.
But again, Arthur Güler and Endrick may not bang. Arthur Güler and Endrick may not bang.
Arthur Güler already has 7 goals in the league for fun as a bench option, bro.
But again, you listen. They may have had good starts, but again, as I always say, it's not necessarily going to mean that they're actually going to achieve what people may want them to achieve. And of course, they may have like, you know, this idea of like a peak that might happen over time, but it's not. For some people, it's like a very short peak. For some people, it's a long peak.
But Ahmed, do you know why I disagree with you?
Go ahead.
If Real Madrid were in a situation they were in 2019 where Ronaldo had left, they signed Hazard, etc., who got injured, etc., a lot. If they were in that transitional phase, I would agree with you. But the fact that Perez has kind of got them out of that transitional phase into being arguably the best team in the world again, I think they're set up fine and they've recruited well to set up for when he does leave.
Yeah, because remind me, I can't remember exactly. Prior to, what was it? When did we win the Champions League? We won it in 2019, right?
2021.
2021. Pardon me. Sorry. I just try to get my dates conflated here. Then they won it in 2022.
Yep.
prior
Then Man
to
City.
them winning it in 2022, how long was it
2018.
before the last time?
4
So there
years.
was a 4-year
4
gap.
years. That's it. That's
What
it.
happened in that 4-year gap that like
They won 3 P.
Rebuild,
still president?
So
it was a
Hazard left.
rebuild. That's pretty
Hazard
much
left. Vinny came in 2019, around the same time as Hazard. He needed a bet in for 2 years because he was just coming from Brazil, right?
So did
Hazard was
Rodrigo
injured,
as
so
well.
Vinny was getting game time. He was getting criticized. Don't pass to him. He's playing against us. And then near the end of Zidane's reign, he started banging in goals late. Like he started coming into form. And then Ancelotti hit in 2022, and he just had his first like superstar season with over 20 GNA in all comps. That's when he scored the game-winning goal for the Champions League the first time. Then did it again this season. Then did it again last season as well. And he's Mr. Champions League right now.
Mm-hmm.
Even when he was playing against them in 2020, he scored a hat-trick against Liverpool. This was the Liverpool side that was running away with the league, and he scored a hat-trick when he was 19. And Benzema was saying he's playing against us that same year.
True.
This guy is scoring in every stage of the Champions League, basically, or getting an assist. And even at times, Sorry?
No, because I was trying to, bridge the gap as to like in that 4-year span that they weren't winning the UCL, what exactly happened with them in terms of like.
So Hazard was supposed to continue it, but then he got injured, right? So then Vinny had to eventually take his place.
I know Ronaldo also left. That was another big factor.
Yeah,
and
in 2018. Yeah, and Bale left in
became a
2019.
golfer as well.
Yeah.
Wait, Prime,
and
can
then
you
Sergio Ramos left too.
Your audio's not coming through, Prime. Yeah, no audio. Just make sure to check your headset. Here, I'll just check your headset. But yeah, Curry, continue on. Sorry.
So they were doing that 4 years to bridge the gap that apparently Hazard was supposed to bridge, right? That's the thing. Mm-hmm. That's the thing, right? So they had a bridge ready and set, but he got injured, so they only had to wait 4 years, and then they're back at it again, winning 2 and 3 years, and they just signed Kylian Mbappe on a free, and Alphonso Davies is apparently rumored.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're not going to buy Davis because they've already signed Mendy to a new contract. I don't think any of you guys have actually listened to what Ahmed said. You guys are talking about like people. When we watch Real Madrid, we have this feeling of like inevitability. Like for example, the final yesterday.
Thanos.
But Real Madrid did go through a period where they were barely making it past the round of 16 in the Champions League. Was
and
it
is
from
that
like
the period I was just mentioning, right? Those 4 years.
I think were like
that was before.
No, not that 4 years. From like 2006 to like 2014 or something. I think.
No, not 2014.
Or
Mourinho started putting them in semifinals before. It was 2011.
No, but okay, whatever. There's a little period where they went through where
about 6 years.
That is a little period where they weren't getting past the round of 16 and they were struggling heavily in the Champions League until like Mourinho came in there and he did like a cultural reset. So, and also Real Madrid right now, like they're also taking advantage of the fact of the rest of the quote unquote big teams in Europe are quite poor. Like Juve, they're doing their own rebuild. Bayern have been ran poorly the past few seasons. Man United have been awful for a decade. Like Liverpool, like they're gonna get a new manager. Who knows what happens with them? Chelsea are, like some people would say, we're in a mess. Like Inter Milan reached the final 2 years ago, but it's Inter Milan. Who's to say like they can get that far again? AC Milan are getting a new manager. Barcelona are getting Flick, but like again, who's to say they can get far and win it? And PSG, they just lost Mbappe. Like the big sides in Europe are not as potent, barring Man City, and even then, I don't think Man City are better than Real Madrid. The big sides in Europe are not as potent, and Real Madrid, to their credit, are taking advantage of that. So,
but do you guys agree with Ahmed when he says once Florentino Perez leaves his position as the president of Real Madrid, do you think this structure now begins to crumble, and we start seeing less and less of the supremacy of Real Madrid in football? Because
in the early 2000s they won before Perez came in.
Okay, fair enough. I think once Florentino leaves, I think he's already established the structure and set it up formulaically, almost cookie cutter, for the next team to take over.
I mean, yes and no. However, it's still Real Madrid, but
yeah.
How do I word this? Like, Perez is Perez, he gets deals done that seem almost impossible. Like, for example, the way he got that Figo deal done, which was deemed as impossible at that time. I'm not saying like there will be a bit of a dip, because being at the peak, like anything below that is deemed as quote unquote bad. So there will be a bit of a dip, but it's still Real Madrid. They'll still be able to win Champions Leagues and stuff. So even though they might dip a little bit, they'll still be fine. They'll still be Real Madrid, so long as they replace him properly, which are because don't they vote on their president? So there will be
worthy successor.
I think again, I feel like again, the issue that I have, a lot of the time when people speak about Madrid, it's almost like they almost speak like it's the Almighty. Like, at the end of the day, guys, Florentino Perez, if he leaves, if they don't like get another guy in that's very similar to him, or can at least help to produce some of the stuff that he's done, it's not going to be the same, right? That's that could be 4 years gone, something like that. Like, again, like Madrid have had their downs before. I just think for me, again, all it takes is maybe some of these players not banking. We've seen Galacticos before, what I mean? Maybe Mbappe doesn't bank with Vinicius and Rodrigo, and they go through a 2 to 3 to 4 year period of that happening. Ronaldo, by the way, how many UCLs did Ronaldo go to under them? Do people remember that? Like, it was only at the end of how many UCLs did Ronaldo win with them? Do you remember?
Which one, Cristiano or R9? I'm asking.
No, but like, and I'm talking about Cristiano. Well, like it took them towards the end of his.
There's not disrespect.
Because
no. But you're not getting my point. You're not getting.
Because you're missing out. Because this whole period, by the way. Before, I'm pretty sure. They knocked out the Bayern team that won the Champions League. In the times where other teams have still been as good as they have, they've still bopped them off the park.
Yeah, Juventus with the best defense for 3 years.
They were still getting to semi-finals.
I get it, but you know how long it took. I'll tell you how long it took. Ronaldo signed it.
Stop and let Ahmed finish. He's making a point.
He was asking a question of how long it took. I'm saying it took 5 years between 2009
Ahmed, make
your
point.
Ronaldo winning.
What I'm trying to make that is that yes, it took them, even with a guy like CR7, quite a while to get into that UCL final and win it as they did. I know they won the 3 in a row thing, obviously, with CR7. Let's not get it twisted. And they won another one against Atletico Madrid. Like, we all saw that, right? But look how long it took them with Ronaldo there. Like, sometimes, bro. But like sometimes, bro, like, eventually, listen, sometimes you get a luck in draws. Eventually, that luck also runs out. Maybe what happens. Go ahead, bro.
Do you know how long? Do you know why it took them that long? Because before Ronaldo joined Real Madrid, they were going through a period where they were constantly getting knocked out of the round of 16.
No, they made it to the quarterfinals, but that's when they used to get knocked out. Yeah.
That's one quarter. That's one quarterfinal.
Yeah.
No, I think it's twice. But
like,
anyway,
you get my point,
around that area.
But Prime, yeah. I think you're kind of getting my point. The point I'm trying to make is that
I get your point.
No, we all get the point. It just doesn't make sense because it's completely different context. They've literally built a Galactico super team that has just won 2 Champions Leagues in 3 years.
3 years.
They're not even at
that gels. That gels.
But they've done
not a Galacticos team that doesn't gel. A Galacticos team that gels again. Which is just like Bale's Galacticos team too. And they built a third Galacticos team.
The last rebuild they had as well, Curry P. Yeah, they're forgetting that there was an aging team. Players were injury prone. These guys are literally not at their peak. They haven't peaked.
Where did they get to last season? In the Champions League last season, how far did they get?
And they also sit in the
semi-finals.
And when we won the Champions League, they got to the semis as well. That's 4 semi-finals in 4 years.
Isn't that impressive?
Yeah, but it's also
that's quite impressive.
With 2
Champions
wins,
League
that's so
players.
impressive, bro.
Yeah, that's one.
No,
One and two.
I'm backing up your point.
Point. And I'm sorry, people keep on saying it takes so long.
Ended up winning the Champions League.
And I'm sorry, this whole thing about guys, there's always exceptions to the rule. They have 15 Champions League for a reason. They had 10. They had 9 before Perez started.
16.
It's 15. It's 15.
16. The one yesterday was the 16th one.
15.
No, it's 15, buddy. I'm sorry, my friend. You're counting the Mbappe one next year, probably, right? It's automatic. I get it. I'm thinking. Hey, Alfie congratulated them on their 16th next year. Alfie said that yesterday. Alfie said congratulations for number 16.
Guys, you know Real Madrid could go through 50 years not winning the Champions League and still have the most in Europe.
That's crazy.
Yeah, easily.
Wait,
No,
wait,
I-
50 years?
Hold on. I need to ask something.
50 years not winning the Champions League and they will still have the most in Europe. They have 15.
Yep.
I have to ask something though. Can we respect Don Carlo as one of the probably the most successful manager in football?
Yeah, he's the goal.
Can I be honest with you, Marshall? The things I heard yesterday, where people were saying, like he's top 3, top 5, but he's a great manager, but not good tactically. And I'm like, he works with everything. He changes formation against different teams. How is that not tactical? He was defensive against Man City and beat them. He was attacking against other teams and beat them. The way he changed formation, the way he changed his play style between the first half and second half when they were getting dominated yesterday.
Because he's not on the touchline doing this with his hands. It doesn't.
It's not that. It's not that. It's because he doesn't have a philosophy that he's dug himself into 10 feet deep like Pep does. That everyone's like he's not a great tactician. Just because he's not digging in 500 feet deep into tiki-taka doesn't mean he's not a great tactician or a club with gegenpressing. He literally works with every squad. He converted Vinny and Rodrigo to a striker this season, and having Bellingham as a false 9.
It's so ironic.
Just throwing back to, and you know what the funny thing is? That was the same formation he had against AC Milan when he won with them in 2003 and 2007. That's the irony.
What I love about Don Carlo and and something that I hate about the likes of Pep and a lot of these managers nowadays, they try to prove that they are smarter than the other manager, or they try and prove how smart they are. This is something Pep did when he was at Barcelona or Bayern, where he played that MSN team in a semi-final and he tried to man-mark every player on the pitch to prove how smart he is. Don Carlo, he will
for Prime against us when he had no CDM.
For a game, just for Don Carlo, all he cares about is winning. He's an old school manager. I will change our formation on my system for a game. I don't care. So long as we win, like that's all that matters. But you have managers nowadays who don't win anything really. That's what Jose said. Poets in football, these guys don't actually win because all they care about is looking pretty or my philosophy or look how great my tactic is, but it doesn't wield real results. And that's why Real Madrid will keep winning. Real Madrid don't care about your philosophy. They don't care about your tactics. They don't care about your inverted fullback. Real Madrid will win regardless of what they have in front of them. And that's why they are the best club side you've ever seen.
Sorry, Prime, can I add on to this? And next year, because the only slight they're saying is he doesn't have a treble and a back-to-back. So next year, if they win a treble, they automatically get back-to-back. Everyone's going to discredit him because they're going to be like, oh, they have Mbappe. It's a super team. So then where was this for when Pep had Messi and Henry and Eto'o in his squad with Prime Iniesta and Xavi and Puyol and Dani Alves and everyone? Where was the smoke then? And Sanchez and Alexis Sanchez on the bench and Pedro on the bench.
The funny thing is, at this stage, Mbappe needs Real Madrid more than Real Madrid need Mbappe. That's the truth.
Yeah, and the other thing too, I need to mention, like for me personally, I don't need Don Carlo to win a treble or back-to-back double, whatever accolade that you want to throw out there. I don't need him to win that in order for him to prove to me that he's one of the best. Look at what happened this season, because people want to forget this. Thibaut Courtois was out with ACL injury from the beginning of the season. This is his maybe second or first game back from that injury. He was missing Militao. He was missing Chalobah. All three ACL.
All three with an ACL.
So he was missing key starters in that center back position, right?
Vinny was injured for 3 months.
Vinny was injured for a good portion of the season, and he had no striker. He just lost Benzema this season.
Yep.
And he still managed to pull this off and win the league as well. So,
Marshall, Joel made a good comment actually a few minutes ago saying about the new format of the UCL. That is the only thing I see potentially stopping them in the UCL.
Well, I was actually going to ask, what do you guys think about the Club World Cup now that's coming up? Or not even Club World Cup,
the competition where...
It is a Club World Cup. It is a Club World Cup,
right? Now there's a new format for the Club World Cup. Next summer, they're going to be involved with it. How do we see that going for them?
They'll probably be in the final.
I can see that, yeah.
I don't know. It depends on how much they value that trophy.
Do you know what I'm feeling? Yeah.
I think they value it quite high, won't they? Because it's a new trophy. It's going to be a new major trophy. They'd be the one that...
No, it's the same trophy. No, Chris, that Club World Cup is still there. It's just a new format. It's the same trophy. You know the one we used to get in Feb? I thought they're just going to name it a little bit different. Club World Cup you get in Feb. They're just moving it to summer.
I think a Saudi team might get to the final. You know, I think I might put a shit ton of money.
I just want to say something quickly before we continue this. I just want to say heartbreak for my guy Will. Scalvini's tore your ACL.
Oh man! Oh fuck! Yeah, Italy, you're finished, man. You're finished. You ain't doing shit in the Euros. You know.
But I just want to say, listen, and I will repeat this again. People might not like to hear this. Listen, sometimes people build the greatest teams, and then the greatest teams don't win. That's all I have to say.
I hope you're right, Ahmed. I really do.
No, but like, but in football, it's a trend. Look how long it took us, for example. Look how long it took. Look at Barcelona. For Barcelona, do you know how many hurdles they had to go through to get that UCL?
Did you think it's down to the coach as well who gets hired when Ancelotti leaves?
Yeah.
Wait.
Again.
Ahmed,
I don't
did you say how many hurdles? Ahmed, did you say how many hurdles they had to go through to win the UCL under Pep Barcelona?
Oh no.
I was saying us fast.
No, but then you said Barcelona. You said Barcelona.
Yeah, you mentioned Barcelona.
My apologies then. I was meant to say Chelsea. Listen, I was saying I was meant to look at even Barcelona, and then you see it like the UCL that you only won the UCL of them, if I'm not mistaken. No.
2.
Sorry.
2? Is it 1 or 2? 1 or 2?
You won 2 in 3 years.
Even 2. Yeah. But again, you look at that. You look at Pep. Yeah, and then even with that team that still remained after Pep. That's all I have to say, really. You know what I mean?
It only took 4 years to win a treble again. No, because it only took 4 years to win a treble again. What are you saying, Ahmad? That same team, they just added Neymar. It took them 4 years to win a treble again in 2015.
Well, 4 years.
They won in 2011.
4 years.
That's not a lot for the UCL. Are you kidding me? Really other team. I'm sorry, that's so impressive.
It's 10 years to win another one.
Liverpool took them 13 years.
Well, again, these are super teams that
Bayern took them 8 years.
You can say all this, but if you got a super team built and it takes you 4 years for that super team to win another title.
Wait.
Perez is going to hire.
Hold on. Wait, who took 4 years with a super team?
Real Madrid.
I'm saying Barcelona. No, I'm saying in 2011 to 2015, and they won a treble. And it's not a super team because Alexis. I'm saying Alexis Sanchez left. They just reloaded.
And he won 2 Champions League at Barca, I think.
Yeah, no, we're talking about after that. No, he's talking about after that period. How long did it take? I said 4 years because 2011 was Pep's last season, winning the Champions League, and then 2015 Barcelona won it again. Yeah. So 4 years. But yeah, they just reloaded. They took out Alexis Sanchez. They got Neymar, and this first season on Neymar.
Yeah, but Ahmed, you also have to remember during that time period, there were also Man United did a 3.
Yeah, Robin and Ribéry.
Bayern won a Champions League. Chelsea won a Champions League.
They did a treble. Bayern did a treble after losing to us the next season with Robin, Ribéry, and Schweinsteiger. Half the backline was Germany's backline for the World Cup in 2014.
I don't get the point. Barca had to rebuild when Pep left. I don't get why that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
So,
is Ancelotti staying next season? Does anyone know if
that's he has 1 season. He has 1 season. He has 1 season for sure.
So he's going to be the manager for the Club World Cup.
Yeah. More than likely.
So I don't see what the point of even bringing that up was about, even the best teams with the best players and all that don't always succeed. I mean,
It
I
does,
agree.
but
'cause-
listen, there's
You're right. You're
we
right.
have-
Let me land. I understand what you're saying because we look at PSG, right? PSG, they were signing the best players. At one point, they had Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar, right?
Yeah.
And they couldn't accomplish what Real Madrid are accomplishing. But that's where we go back to the manager, right? Don Carlo, you see what he's doing. Man, putting those the gum. The man was stressing so hard yesterday. Fucking a mouthful of gum, just chewing it up like no one else.
PSG have never truly been a great team.
Yeah,
But
They've
they
had
had
good players, but never
They
been
were
a great
trying to
team.
build the same thing that Real Madrid had. They had the Galacticos, and they couldn't succeed because they didn't have the manager. This team, Real Madrid, have the manager.
They had
have the
Carlo, though.
Galacticos.
Bro,
No,
Yeah,
they
but
had
Real
Carlo
Madrid-
first.
They had Carlo.
It's just a poorly built team.
But they didn't have the same Galacticos as Don Carlo has.
No,
now.
they
No,
didn't. That's
I
true.
watched
That's
a lot
true.
They didn't have Don Carlo didn't have Neymar,
Marshall.
No.
Messi, and Mbappe.
Marshall.
But Marshall, do you know why I wouldn't
Real-
compare them?
Hold on. Real Madrid have also failed with Galacticos before. People not remember the early 2000s era.
The original
They had-
Galacticos.
Yeah,
they had
failed.
players, by the way, that are greater
failed.
than the players they have currently. By the way, they
But-
had players
yeah,
that
man.
were great.
But Prime, can I counter that if you don't mind?
Failed.
Okay. No, I agree with that. But you know the funny thing is, this team has proven that it can win with
Yeah.
Don Carlo. They've done it 2 and 3 years. The only thing they're adding is one piece now. They're not adding 5 signings. They're adding one piece, maybe
But
2
listen,
if all from the
but
Davis
Corey,
goes.
it's all well and good saying they add one piece. But if that piece is the piece that leads to the destruction of the team, then what we
I'll be real, guys.
But then
Yeah,
we
that's
said
not
that with
what
this season with Bellingham. We said that with this season with Bellingham. We keep on saying that with Don Carlo.
No, I didn't say that of Bellingham, by the way. I never said that of Bellingham. Whoever said
I'm
that,
not saying you. There was
No, no,
because
but
everyone's like, "How's Bellingham
no,
gonna
but the
play?
point I'm
Where
trying
is
to
he
make
gonna
here,
play?" With
we even may have said
Kroos
Bellingham,
and
but this is Mbappe. This is Mbappe, by the way. This guy is not.
Ahmed, you're right. Ahmed, you're right. Just like Real Madrid, after losing one of the best strikers in Europe, playing without a striker, they weren't supposed to go on and win the Champions League
With
and the
them
league, especially with all the injuries they've had. Listen, if Mbappe comes and Real Madrid stumble a little bit and fall off a bit, this is Real Madrid. They're not loyal to any single player. They will still.
They had
figure it out.
R9.
Whether it's they will get rid
Cristiano
of
Ronaldo,
Mbappe.
the bench.
They'll get rid of Mbappe, or they'll get rid of Vinny. They'll get rid of someone, and they'll make it work. It's Real Madrid. It's
Do you know
what
what will
they do.
happen? Do you know what's actually going to happen? Yeah, they'll somehow
Yeah, I
blame it
agree.
on Rodrigo, and then they'll want him to leave. That's what will happen.
No, but Prime, you know the funny thing is, sorry, last thing I would say, because I know Marshall said 25 minutes.
Yeah,
The funny thing is
Oh.
they kicked out Ronaldo because Ronaldo only wanted 3 more years. And he was banging those 3 years in Juventus. They let him go
No,
because
he
he
left.
wanted a pay rise in 3 years. No, he wanted a 3-year contract. Real Madrid did not want to give him a 3-year
I thought
contract at the
Ronaldo
time.
left for a different reason.
No, he didn't want a 3-year contract at the time. Madrid didn't want to give him a 3-year contract at the time. So
I
they
thought something
sold
to
him.
do with, the tax, but
No,
I forgot about that. Yeah.
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 And
mean,
Messi-
because Messi had the same issue too. So that's
Time
not
will
bad.
tell. We'll see how sustainable this winning form that Real Madrid have for the UCL and other trophies is going to last. But listen, I think for now, this team looks really, really good. They're only going to add with Kylian Mbappe now next season, who has officially been announced. We'll see how that plays out. And listen, for the sake of football, for the sake of just entertainment, hopefully next year when we do have this conversation, it's another team. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's Real Madrid again. So let's see how it plays out, and we'll go from there. But ladies and gentlemen, that's the first topic to really warm you guys up for the rest of the show. We have jam-packed for you guys with a bunch of news to discuss. We have over 65 of you guys watching. If you haven't done so already, smash those likes, and let's get on with the next topic, which is Mr. Kyle Walker had some comments to say about our right back, Reece James, and let's see our thoughts on that.
Prime.
We're gonna go ahead and share our screen right here. First things first is first tweet right here. Nick Purewall, Reece James, who Kyle Walker said this week is the epitome of the perfect right back, can act as the linchpin for Enzo Maresca's favored formations and inverting to create an extra man in the midfield. Then we have here. I don't know why this didn't zoom in, but okay.
I want to see the Reece
Kyle
James
Walker.
picture.
Kyle Walker Kyle Walker said Reece has everything. If he could make if I could make the complete right back, it would be him. He's got my strength. Okay. He's got my strength, Hakimi's pace, Cancelo's technical ability, Trent's passing, and Carvajal's mentality. And listen, I think these are really high praises. I can't necessarily disagree with much of it, to be honest. At his best, I think what Kyle Walker is saying is very accurate. I think.
Okay.
I think the pace, maybe not so much. I don't think he's as fast.
Yeah, he's not as fast as him, but
he does have the technical ability. He does have great passing ability, and mentally, you can say he acts and he's passionate about the team he plays for, and he's clinical when he needs to be.
So we're just gonna lie.
Hey, Kyle Walker, you have a new fan, man.
It's not that much of a lie.
We're gonna
Pace is probably the worst one out of the pick.
But Chris, is it even like he's kept up in most games against very quick
that's what I mean. I don't think pace actually matters because we saw against Vinny, right? Vinny's pace couldn't outpace Reece James. Leo's pace didn't outpace Reece James.
Just Davies,
fastest wingers in the world, yeah. Davies, well, I don't know about Davies, but
in 2020, do you remember Chris? Before was when he was like really young. So do you remember when Davies just pretty much done him over? Just before lockdown.
I can't remember, man. I think I slept too many times since then. But
yeah, I remember.
I don't remember that one. I remember the good.
I mean, okay. What did this Kyle say? I mean, listen, man. You know, he has the injury proneness of Jack Wilshere. He didn't mention that, did he?
Oh my god.
So the idea is that if he was to stay fit. Right. The idea is when fit.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. When fit. Okay. We always, but Reece James, it's always the asterisk of when fit, right?
Bro, you are probably the most bipolar Chelsea fan I know in Prime. Just the other stream, we were doing the Casually FC Awards.
Just like when Gal said.
Yes.
Just like when Gal.
Now you're talking about your own.
Just like when Gal said, you know, let's not count Champions Leagues when doing the Arsenal Real Madrid combined 11. Let's not count Champions League. Let's not count.
What happens when you have a girl and you take her to your parents and you're just like, you know, I love her. I know she's a little fat, but I do love her. You know, she could be a little naggy, but she's great. Like, what loyalty do you have, bro?
It's cool. Hey, Marshall, let's not count Champions League. Let's not count his injuries.
It's okay. It's the same. It's the same loyalty Osimhen has towards his basketball team. Don't worry, man. He has the same.
Marshall, you're talking about loyalty. When Reece is loyal to being on the pitch for more than 90 minutes, I'll be loyal to him. But you know,
you have my doubts.
Is what it is. Carl talking about on ability, I agree. He's the best fullback in the world. However, the guy just doesn't stay fit. So hopefully the surgery works out. But yeah, nobody says anything positive about James without the words "when fit." It's always "when fit." The same way when people talk about Trent, they always talk about his attacking ability. But the guy can't defend. No one talks about him defensively. It's like people always say "when fit" for Reece James. It's so annoying. Can the guy just stay fit and play 2 games on the bounce for more than 75 minutes before we start talking about Reece? Can he do that for me, please? Can he? It's like with Rashford. When Rashford's on form, he's one of the best left wingers in the world. When he's on form. But when is he ever on form? When is he ever on form? Arsenal. Oh, we're so amazing. We're so great. We're the best team in the world. You haven't won anything for 5 years. We laugh at Arsenal fans when they say that, but apparently with Reece James, when he's fit, he's amazing. No, do you know how embarrassing Chelsea fans you sound when we talk about Reece James? But when he's fit, it's just like how embarrassing Arsenal fans sound when they were talking about Jack Wilshere about when he's fit. I don't care about when he's fit. When is he fit? Can he stay fit? Can he play 5 games? Can he play 2 games? Can he play a full 90 minutes?
I wouldn't say it's embarrassing.
It isn't.
Just because I think a lot of us, like, jokes aside, we objectively can look at James's career and say that something needs to change. But talking about his quality, I don't think, I wouldn't say saying he's an amazing player, I don't think is necessarily embarrassing. I get he's injury prone, and I get your point, by the way. I do get your point. That something does need to change, but I wouldn't really compare it to the other things. I don't think we're that shameless about Reece James, to be honest.
Yeah, and if they're good enough, the injury proneness
and it is compared. and it is comparable to Jack Wilshere, because that's all I heard from Arsenal fans for years. Jack Wilshere, when he's fit, he's one of the best midfielders in the world. When he's fit, let's build a team around him. When he's fit. But he wasn't ever fit consistently. And I'm afraid Reece James will go down that path. I'm sick of hearing.
Yeah, but then we said that. But we said that about R9 too. He's like, if he was fit, he would be the best player to ever exist.
I don't care about.
But we still give him. But we still give him his accolades. We still.
Good for you. I don't care about. I don't care about Fat Nine. Good for you.
The problem is R9 was not. R9 was.
Sorry, what?
R9 was not cooked at the age of 24.
Actually, he was. His knee surgeries actually happened around the age of 22. So he was cooked around the age of 24. Thanks, Ahmed.
Because he was playing consistently still.
I think I know.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
Yes, he. Oh my! Every time, bro. Like,
yes, because you say facts.
If I just bring it, no. But if I just bring this, I know R9 was playing consistently
at
for
24.
a certain amount of time.
Say it. 24. Go check it.
Why are you comparing Reece James to R9?
Because he was at Barcelona at 19. Then he was at Inter.
Similar levels.
Why are you comparing?
No, we'll do it. No, I'll wait.
You mentioned Jack Wilshere.
You mentioned Jack Wilshere first of all.
So you did.
The other thing
Wilshere was a baller, to be fair.
People keep. You're saying like I can't consider. I'm sick and tired of Reece James having the caveat of when fit. I can't consider Reece James best in the world because I always have to caveat it with when fit. Well, R9, despite all of his injuries,
I didn't say we can't consider him the best.
I didn't say you said that, but the overall context is that notion, right? And with R9, there's no issues with saying R9 is one of the, if not the best striker in the world when fit. You know,
well, I don't. But I mentioned Jack Wilshere for a reason. I rate Jack Wilshere's quality. When he played, he was great, but he wasn't ever fit. And the whole discussion about him was always, when fit. I'm sick of talking about Reece James. I'm sick of. Again, you guys know how I feel. But you guys know how I feel about injury. Okay, I don't really watch R9. I don't care about him. But with Reece James, you guys know how, not just Reece, but you guys know how I feel about injury-prone players in general. I'm sick of when fit. Dybala is the same thing. When fit, he's amazing, but you're not fit consistently. So why should I personally care? Why should I care? Listen. Hopefully the surgery works out, and hopefully he's able to stay fit for us, so we can actually see him. But ultimately, why do I care?
Well, the only thing is that I don't mind if a player's injury prone is if when they play they are good. I don't think Reece has shown me periods where he's come back and been absolute crap for more than one, maybe 2 games. So for me to give up on Reece, it would have to be he'd have another season like this season where he's out for pretty much 88-90% of it.
Yeah,
it would have to be really bad.
Right, so, I just want to say quickly. Hold
on, Ahmed. I said it
literally is. 28 appearances, 15 goals, 4 assists. I don't think Reece James has got that this season. I just wanted to.
Oh no, not this season. Yeah, no.
Wait, hold on. What you just said, I said exactly that, and people try to crucify me. I said exactly what Will said. If he has another season like this, he should be gone.
I'm going to be honest, Prime. Prime knows my point of view. Everyone here knows my point of view about Reece James. I want to have a backup right back. I don't care if it's that. I know I make the Delo joke all the time, but I want an academy guy that I know is a proper right back that can play that, because I personally just don't believe and can trust that he's going to give me 5 games of 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And that's fair enough. So, and that's, everyone knows that's his biggest criticism. And hopefully this season, like Prime said, let's see what happens. He got the surgery. Pochettino's not here. If that plus that equals a fit Reece James, time will tell. We will see.
You know what the problem is? He managed to get himself. He literally managed to get himself a 3-match ban. So I don't even know. I couldn't even if I was like to say I'm not gonna buy anyone. Let me see what he can do in the first 3 games. He's got himself red carded.
I mean, listen, we could see what happens in the preseason as well. People, wait, hold on, Prime. I need to move on. But we'll see what happens in the preseason. I know people want to say take the preseason with a pinch of salt, but at the same time, this isn't Mauricio Pochettino. This is Enzo Maresca. We'll see how it turns out. But let's move on.
Sorry, Marshall, can I just say one last thing? Because I love dunking on. Yeah, sorry, I love dunking on Ahmed. So he was Ronaldo. R9 was born in 1976. 1976 plus 24 years is 2000. In 2000, he played one game because he had his knee injury.
There's no 2001 record on the transfer market.
Yes, it is. If you check, yes, it is. It is.
It says 1999
to 2000. Italian Cup, 1 appearance. Serie A, 7 appearances.
At that age, he's 23, and then there's no 0001. It then goes 0102 for him afterwards.
Yes, because he was injured. So you proved my point. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, he was injured.
Ahmed, ever since the Soloff files came out, man.
Thank you, buddy. Like you're telling me about R9, my favorite player.
So like the season.
Like, cool.
That's the point that Curry Pirate's trying to tell you. He didn't have a season.
We're about to move on now, and all I'm going to say is.
Oh, I can't see 01 either.
You guys are trying to defend Reece James' injuries by comparing him to R9. Like I said, Chelsea fans, you're embarrassing.
No, it's not that. I'll just move on. It's not what I was saying, but okay.
This is disingenuous, but okay. Let's move on. Okay, so we have Chris's favorite topic. Chris, you should know by now what we're going to talk about.
It's going to be a kit again, isn't it?
Yeah, Chris, I'm so proud
How
of you.
many league kits are we going to do, man? Like 20?
As many as possible. As many as possible. Chris, check it out.
Oh, what the fuck?
Time Nike Chelsea 24-25 training shirt. I hate it. I hate it. This is awesome.
Wait,
this is nice. This is horrible.
Oh my god.
This is disgusting. I'm glad.
I mean, some people like pink. Some people like these pink kits. Like, I don't like it. I like it lighter.
Pink for Chelsea, it's nothing to do with Chelsea.
I mean, if it's a bit lighter, maybe, but nah, this is horrible, man. I like the badge. The badge is cool. That's about it.
Hey, Nike, it's time to go, man. It's time to go. I've had enough.
I think these are just some 10-year-old kids.
It's got it.
Saying Chelsea Elite kit.
I hate this. I mean, is
Oh,
anyone
training.
It's a training kit. Who cares?
It's a training
No one's gonna care. Yeah, no one's buying that.
I like the color. I don't like the logo, but I like the color.
You don't like the logo, you said?
Logo.
I don't like the pink logo. It looks a bit weird with the color and stuff. But I do like the kit. I do like the kit. It looks good.
Is Trivago gone now?
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Trivago. That was a great
Oh man, yeah, they stood by us.
Yeah. It's sad to see Trivago go, but you know, all great things come to an end. But anyone else like it besides Prime? Or
I'm buying
do
it.
the majority of us? Wait, did you say you would buy it, Chris?
Yeah, I'm buying it.
Sorry, what?
Chris is going backstage
Never
for a
mind.
little bit. Yeah.
It was a lighter
Let's
pink.
go backstage then, yeah? We'll go backstage.
Wait. What's wrong with saying that you'll buy it?
I know, man. He's saying I'm pink lovers.
Chris didn't even like it. Chris didn't like it.
Oh,
And then he says he's going to buy it.
I mean, I had a proper look at it, and I thought it looks quite nice. You know,
Chris is a fraud. Why do you listen to what you're saying?
Oh, wait a minute. I need to find these. Hold on. Continue discussing
What do you
on
need to
Chris.
find?
You know why it's so disgusting?
Oh,
Look at the
that
sleeve.
actually looks kind of nice.
It's gonna probably look like this. This is the Bilbao kit, but I'm pretty sure what's it called. It's gonna be a bit
Yeah, it has
more
none
of
of
a
the
lighter
black on it
tone.
either.
Yeah,
The
it's
sleeves look
so-
disgusting though. On the
But this is
concept.
this is by Castor though. It's not even by what's it called, Nike, but it's probably gonna be similar tone-ish.
Look at the design on the sleeves. Oh my god.
I do. By the way, I do hope we actually do that badge design like for next season for like all the kits.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah.
I love that badge. Like that. I don't like the circle.
Yeah, I do like the badge.
It's
Hey,
a
they'll
bear
say
like
we're
that.
copying Arsenal, Chris.
Are we?
Arsenal were doing it. No, that's what they'd say. Because Arsenal were doing they're just having the gun or the cannon.
Aston Villa copied us completely. So
Didn't we
They
copy
changed
Villa?
they changed their badge again, by the way.
really,
Yeah, they did.
They changed their
what the
badge.
fuck? Well, they're gonna change it every
Hey,
season.
hey, Ahmed,
hmm
what do you think of Palace's third kit for next season?
I think it's similar, isn't it? I'm pretty sure.
Where is this leak, man? I found there was an actual tweet earlier that actually
what you
had
do?
like legit leaks.
You should bookmark it.
Physical actual kits that someone had seen at a retail store or something like that prior to it being released.
I feel like
Damn it! I wish I fucking actually found it. Damn it!
you should bookmark it.
I saw it while I was watching a video. That's why I didn't actually.
You
Oh! I found it. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
finally.
Mm.
We're back
Shut
to the
up,
R9. We'll be back to the R9 debates.
So I'm about to put you backstage again. All right, here it is.
Put me out my measuring, man.
So this is the actual kit that was leaked.
It's not that orange. No.
Ooh,
I actually don't mind it too much. To be fair,
No, on the badge.
I don't mind this. This is copper. It looks like copper.
Nice.
I'll be real. The sponsor being white with the badge being and the
Yeah.
It's not going to be Infinite Athlete though. That's the thing.
Well,
that's what I mean.
The rumor
Riyadh
is that
Airways.
for now it is Infinite Athlete until we find another sponsor.
No, it's gonna be Riyadh Airways, right? Same as that.
No, they already agreed with Infinite Athlete. They're going to be a side thing from this season onwards.
So how do these kits get made then like that? They just make a few
No,
kits?
that's literally. I'm pretty sure
they. Unless you find a link right now that, as far as I'm aware, what I've heard is that currently we still don't have a front of shirt sponsor, and that we might have to do Infinite Athlete again.
Ben Jacobs said we're retaining Infinite Athlete for free.
Yeah,
that's what you're right, Marshall. Because the plan was to make them our side shirt sponsor, but then because we haven't agreed on a new front shirt sponsor, they're going to stay there.
And the deadline to agree with a front of shirt sponsor passed.
The away shirt is lovely, I think.
But then if that's the case, why did they not release these new kits then? That's what's confusing me. If you're not going to get
we might still get another front of shirt sponsor.
Yeah.
We don't
like
know.
How we got Infinite Athlete last minute kind of thing.
I really thought it was agreed to be Riyadh Air, the one that Atletico have. But
no, I think things collapsed with them. Something I don't know what happened, but the deal collapsed with them.
Thank God, that's not a good sponsor to have on the front.
Aren't they the sponsor? But they're the sponsor, Roma, I believe. I just saw.
I don't know. Probably I don't know, Marshall. To be honest, Atletico, I know they were.
Yeah, but I like the away kit. I think the away kit looks cool.
We're not getting Jordan.
I'm not.
No, because we didn't. It was supposed to be apparently a
Europa
League.
Jordan, man. Europe's Europe. Like we got
Champions League. They were asking for Champions League.
They wanted Champions or even Europe at the very least. We still haven't got that yet.
Yeah,
we failed.
Yeah.
Oh no, but tomorrow might be a big day. Tomorrow might be a big day for us because
you know what I love? How
the United thing, the United situation is supposed to be resolved tomorrow.
No, it came out. No, it came out that United will be able to play in the Europa League.
Okay,
they'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this new sponsor we're getting, how long are they going to be here for?
I don't know. We don't know yet. That's the idea. Is we need to get a front of shirt first.
I think we can get Jordan next year. If we finish in the Champions League, we can get Jordan.
I think so.
Yeah, because they haven't signed with Spurs either. They haven't signed with Spurs.
They don't have anyone. I think when it dropped that we weren't getting Europa and that Jordan wasn't going to be a part of us this season, I think the news dropped afterwards that they'll revisit this in a year. So we will see. But I mean, as far as these kits go, the away kit, I like the color scheme. Not a fan of the texture. This one, I'm just not a fan of the orange on the bottoms here. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you like these kits?
I don't like the sponsor to be in a different color, like on the home shirt.
Well,
I wish that was like a lighter blue or something.
Fair enough.
The away shirt's cool.
I actually do like the away kit. It looks. I like it like that. Like the blue one, not so much. I'm not a fan of that. The collar is that a collar? Or is it just not a collar? I can't tell.
It's a V-neck, isn't it, Chris? I think.
Yeah. I mean, I do like.
I was like, yeah, their colors there. Yeah.
No, collar.
Collar. Okay.
Oh yeah.
This is a regular round collar. Yeah. This one is a V-neck.
Yeah, I like the white one, but we're probably not going to get this kit either. But
probably not.
I think we are. It's just the sponsor's going to change.
The one thing I'd change is the badge. Like, oh god.
Actually, I don't like the orange badge.
Oh shit! I didn't see that.
Oh, that is.
That put me right off.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad.
Oh, fuck that badge.
We need to get Champions League.
No, it looks like it looks like I don't know.
The
Beyblade.
It does look like a Beyblade.
Yo, you're right. It does look like.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Nah, I'm good. Deep fried shells. Yeah, I'm okay.
Yep.
Yeah, never mind.
Deep fried shells.
Never mind. I'll maybe get the home kit. The home kit looks all right, but I don't know about.
I was having hopes to the white kit until I saw the badge.
Yeah. That's why I had to zoom in. I was like, wait a minute. Did it show the badge?
It went to a 7 to a 3.
It would have been cool if the Europa League badge would have blended in with the orange, but now it's going to be ugly green, like a very ugly shade of green.
I'll buy that pink training kit before I buy that, man. God damn.
Yeah, I actually would.
God damn. All right. Let's get away from the kit then. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, I think that is gonna be the kit. I hope at least the alternate kit's nicer, and that'll leak eventually.
Hope.
But we'll see what happens as well with the sponsorship. That time will tell as well. So let's move on as well into the next topic, ladies and gents, which we have here is Enzo not going to the Olympics anymore. And let's see how we feel about this. So the first tweet I have for you guys is the following one right here. Enzo blocked from going to the Olympics from CFC Daily. And then we have a little more details here from Gastanduel. Argentina are trying to convince Chelsea to allow Enzo to play the Olympics. Enzo himself wants to go. However, Chelsea want him to play the preseason and not miss anything. There will be one last talk. And honestly, I gotta be real. Enzo wasn't really available for most of the last preseason. I think considering we have a new manager, if we were still continuing with Poch, I would make the argument like, oh yeah, let him go to the Olympics. That's fine because he already understands how Poch wants to play and all this fun stuff, right? Not so much with this manager. I think he does need to be a part of the preseason. So unfortunately, yes, you need to miss out on the Olympics for this one, but I think you're fine. I think you'll be okay. This is more important.
There's always next year.
There's always next.
You mean in 4 years, buddy?
I think we should try and keep. I think we should try and keep the Chris say it's next year.
Yeah, yes, for the Olympics, yes. Okay.
No, Chris is right. No, he's right. It's next. He's right. It is next year. Don't worry, Chris. I believe you. Anyways,
it's always next year. Just tell them it's always next year, man.
Yeah. I believe you. I think we should try and keep good relations with Argentina. Mm-hmm. So, when it comes to Enzo. So, I don't know.
So, we're gonna let him get injured quickly so we can keep good relations. Is that what we're doing?
I don't know.
Man's already going to a Copa America.
Was I finished speaking?
That was rude of me. I apologize.
Was I finished speaking?
Okay, God, relax.
It sounded like you were, but continue.
Okay. No, I think I think we should try and keep good relations with Argentina. So if we can try and come to some sort of a solution. I understand that he wants to play in the Olympics because Argentina actually have a good chance of winning it, and that would be great for him on a personal note, considering how bad this season has been. But a player like Enzo will be important to Maresca's system, and so we will actually need him for preseason. So,
yeah, and plus Curry alluded to it. He's gonna be playing Copa America, so we're already giving Enzo to Argentina for that tournament, which I think Argentina probably prioritized Copa America over the Olympics. Most national teams do, to be honest. I don't think the national, as far as I'm aware, most national teams don't put out their best lineups out there anyways. So I think having Enzo, I think Enzo really wants to be a part of it. He wants to be a part of the history and all that stuff. He wants to play with, Argentina. That's, for a lot of South Americans, national team is the most important thing for them. And for most players, to be honest. But I agree with the sentiment that was just said. He needs to be a part of the preseason. He needs to be filled in with what the system is going to be. If this is right, and I don't have the tweet, if the case is that we're going to build around him, then even more of a reason to prioritize having him in our preseason so that Enzo Maresca can have a chance to build around him.
Mm-hmm. But he is South American, and South Americans, they're very, I don't know if the right word is patriotic, but they love playing for their country. Yeah, they love playing for their country. So again, if we can come to some sort of a solution, if say Argentina win Copa America, maybe Enzo doesn't have as much of a need to go to the Olympics. But if they don't win Copa, they'll probably want to go to the Olympics and win something for Argentina. So
yeah, fair enough. Okay, then that being said, let's go on to
when does there have to be a decision made?
Always soon, because the Olympics start in a month.
You have to look it in.
And
Yeah,
Copa America starting in 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah, I just think it's kind of reckless for us as a club to let him go to back-to-back tournaments, especially when last season he already missed part of preseason. This season, if Chelsea want to start off strong with a new manager, he's going to be a key part of it. So I think he should really stay with the club after Copa America. But we'll see what happens, man. We'll see where this comes. But as far as I'm aware, Enzo is not going to be going to the Olympics. I'm okay with that. Let's go on to the next thing I wanted to bring up is Cesc Fabregas is not going to be joining Chelsea. Now, what's this have to do with anything? No one ever heard of this. This is going to lead me to the next topic as well. People were saying Cesc may be potentially joining the team of Enzo Maresca in an assistant coach role and whatnot, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So Simon Johnson Sport reporting here, Cesc Fabregas will not be joining Chelsea, deemed too early for head coach role, and he does not want to leave Como for an assistant role at Chelsea. And why would he? Because Como just got promoted to Serie A. So, I mean, anyone have any oppositions to this? Or would you have wanted him to be at Chelsea in some type of assistant role?
Yes and yes.
I knew it.
Talk to me, Prime.
I think an assistant role, yeah.
Or, sorry, what did you say? No, no and yes. No, I don't have a problem with what he said. Yes, I would have liked him to have been an assistant for Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, what he's saying makes sense. Like, it is too early. Yeah, what he said makes sense. Like, he would only really leave to be like a head coach, and we're not going to give him that sort of role now. So, like, it makes sense. Let him keep doing what he's doing at Como, and like, let's see where he's at in a few years. I think there's real potential in him to be a great manager, because he's like extremely intelligent. The way he speaks about football, the way he understands football, I think he can be in the same class as like an Alonso, a Thiago Motta. So we'll see.
Anyone else have any thoughts on Cesc not joining us? A little disappointed, anyone?
No,
Not
he's
but-
gonna get he just got his coaching badges like this summer. He's gonna get his first year of actually coaching aside. And I do get Prime saying he's intelligent, and me and Prime do have a little master plan wish of him managing us eventually. But like him giving the example that he's an intelligent footballer, I get the good, but the bad is also Frank Lampard, because everyone under the sun, when he was a player, like he's one of the most intelligent players in the league, right? And then as manager, he's been shit.
I didn't say intelligent footballer. I didn't say intelligent footballer. I said the way he speaks about football, he's intelligent. Lampard.
That was the same. Let's be honest. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's so great."
I never said that.
Yeah,
about
Pirlo flopped. Pirlo flopped to Juventus, and that's under Pirlo.
Fair. Okay, Pirlo.
Well, if you know about Pedro, he wasn't much of a talker, to be honest. His actual personality, to be honest, to be fair.
What's Pedro been up to, anyways?
I don't know.
He's managing somewhere, I think, in Syria B, I think, or something like that. I think.
Because after
he's managing again. I know he's
managing.
managing somewhere. I'm pretty sure he's managing somewhere, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I can double check.
Yeah, but Chris, or not Chris. Oh my god.
Yeah, see, I was right. Yeah, it's
the
good
thing
to
is,
be. Yeah.
Like what Jez has said, like Cesc is actually like learning and trying to learn his craft, whereas Lampard got the Derby job and the Chelsea job and the Everton job and now the Burnley job because he's a legend. I'm not saying Cesc should come. I'm not saying Cesc should come to Chelsea yet. Like, I understand he's actually trying to grow and learn. I respect that.
100%.
I agree with that too. He should. There's no point in going from a management role to an assistant role in his current situation. Like, he is succeeding currently with the club. Let's see what he can do with the club now that he continues on into the next league. Yeah.
Cesc doesn't want the smoke.
I'll be honest, man. Listen, Cesc, big up to you, whatever. But listen, man. Just I don't need to be worrying about whether or not you're gonna become my manager as of right now, personally. Just what I mean. just focusing yourself.
We don't need to worry, Ahmed. So then, in that case, we're going to move on as well. So, lots of topics, guys. So bear with me as I continue the pace of the show, so that we can get to the more meats and potatoes that everyone is here for. Going on to the next topic is continuing from the managerial plan, right? We're talking about the Maresca plan now, right? What is the plan for our Enzo Maresca? What is the idea? What we're going to be doing for him in the summer, and what is the general feel of what's going on, and also what happened with the other choices, right? So let's actually start with this first little tweet here. Take it with a pinch of salt. It may be true, it may not be true, but we'll discuss in tandem with the rest of what's going on, right? So Max London's First from the London's First podcast had this to say about De Zerbi. Contrary to pre-existing and further inevitable reports, reliably told Roberto De Zerbi's camp was in contact with Chelsea. He wanted an element of control over signings. More, De Zerbi's side attempted to compromise with some players being brought in and sold for him, whereas Maresca had a plan for the players already here and had already done extensive knowledge on such. Source said he's willing to build systems, not team, that impress. And honestly, from a standpoint, if you're willing to work with the tools that you have and you have a plan to make something out of the tools that you have from a hiree standpoint, that is impressive. Listen, I understand this whole notion of yes man, not buying or backing the manager and all this. I don't want to go back to where we were with Roman, where we were buying players for the manager, then the manager leaves, and then we're stuck with the players for that manager and his system, and now we're trying to shoehorn more players from a previous manager to a new system that doesn't suit them, so on and so forth, and we're stuck with Deadwood. So let's not go back to that. That's where I'm at. So I don't mind this whole notion, right? Whereas a lot of people do. But let's continue on. So Chelsea hope that Enzo Maresca's long contract will avoid questions over renewals, although given the Clear Lake Capital-led consortium's history of sacking managers, that will be no guarantee of longevity if the team do not get results. And people have rumored, we don't know what the full contract details are, but people have rumored that there's potentially a lot of exit clauses in Enzo Maresca's deal that will help us cut the deal if we need to, if he doesn't last to 5 years, if things don't go as planned, which we're hoping things go as planned. Let's continue on. Chelsea have studied how Arteta eventually thrived after leaving Guardiola's staff and hope Maresca can flourish in the same way, coming from Kieran Gill. Enzo Maresca was asked about transfer on the 10th of May. His response, no, I'm not asking for more control. Absolutely not. I'm just asking just to be able to do my job, and I'm being paid for no more than that. We continue on. Paul and Stanley Lowersfield have built up an instant rapport with Enzo Maresca. The sporting director pair were impressed with Enzo's knowledge of Chelsea's squad. His connection to Guardiola is viewed positively. He feels he will fit the structure. Continuing on, Chelsea believe their current squad is strong enough for a top 4 Premier League finish, and I agree with that. And then lastly here, Chelsea are discussing internally whether they want to go for a new goalkeeper or not. Also looking if they want one more CB. Center strike is also a priority. Also looking at wingers. So these are the targets. These are the personalities they're looking for. Enzo Maresca does not want control. And we have De Zerbi that apparently wanted control, and that is part of the reason why he didn't get a job. Ladies and gents, what are our thoughts on this?
These quotes have pissed me off. And not because of the reasons that you might think, okay? So I'm fine with the manager not having control. I don't think managers really ever have, or head coaches, never have really control anyway. So I feel like this is a bit dishonest towards De Zerbi by the seams of it, because the whole we want to build systems, not teams, that is bollocks. That is absolute bollocks. When you've got De Zerbi, who literally his whole image is to build his perfect system that can get the best out of his players and play his vision of football. So that quote, what does that even mean? That is waffle. Apart from that, I don't really mind. I think De Zerbi would have been a good fit here anyway. I don't think he wanted full control, but they've gone for their guy who they got on with more. So that's fine. I'm not going to complain about that. That is fine. If they feel like they're going to work with him better, that is fine. But if this doesn't go right, and we look back on these quotes and laugh, like I almost did when I first read it, Paul Winstanley this is your last chance. I've backed you through everything, yeah. I've backed this guy. Both of them. I've backed them through everything, yeah. This is the last straw. And I swear, that quote, we want to build system, not teams. Do me a favour. Do me a fucking favour. What are they talking about? Waffle. Absolute waffle. Sorry, that pissed me off. That's actually... my head is gone. That quote has pissed me off.
Fair enough. Does anyone agree with Will on that?
Well, I knew that was the reason why you wouldn't like the quotes. I knew that was the reason. But
yeah, I didn't want people to think that I wanted a quote unquote. I'm not one of those flat earther Chelsea fans.
Can I just ask? Can I ask a question? Why do we listen to what is written by Chelsea Football Club at this point? Like, I just don't understand like why we listen to it. Like for me, you know, when this is coming from the club and this is what you hear, this is what they're giving to these journalists. Yeah, at least I just want it in, want it out, because clearly that's not what they want. Clearly that's not what it is. The reality at the end of the day, they're just trying to, you know, give excuses as to why they've chosen Maresca. That's all it is, man.
Ahmed, did you say you don't listen to the journalists and stuff?
No, I just don't listen to the club quotes because I understand why they. For me, it's just, you know, a lot of you know what I mean, PR.
This is coming from the same guy that has a Chelsea channel based on doing live streams every day, reading the quotes of what's been said.
But again, I don't read the quotes about from. Listen, the thing I do is I read about club, what the club trying to bring in. I don't read about the reasons why they're choosing certain people or not.
So you're criticizing the way I built up my channel.
For me in particular, one of the things that I prefer, one of the things that I always prefer is like whenever like the actual journal is actually done on a full report. He actually, of course, he's gonna have sources from the club about what was going on at the club. I usually like those, like the Athletic article about why managers get sacked. I usually find them to be a bit more reliable.
We know most journalists don't know what the actual story. They waffle. So you'd rather listen to
They don't know the story, but the reason why but there's some that know more than others.
So you'd rather listen to the waffle from these journalists than what the club is actually saying.
In particular journalists.
So you're criticizing Marshall for how he runs his channel, but you're worse.
I've never criticized Marshall. You're the one that's criticizing him. I've never said Marshall does anything wrong. Again, I don't know why you're trying to start beef.
Marshall, one, he doesn't turn up for your award show, and now he's criticizing.
1 second, by the way, I can't hear you because I've just.
Come on.
Casuals will never forget. The casuals never forget.
Lovely jubbly.
Can I ask another question?
Yeah, go for it, man.
The quote was, I'm really hyperfixated on this quote, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Why did they hire Poch? Why did they select Poch?
Are you just talking about this quote?
Yeah. We want to. He's willing to build systems, not teams. Why did you hire Poch?
Because I've said this before. I truly believe, the ownership wanted Poch, and that's what they want. That's what they went with. It's because that's what happened, bro.
Because Ahmed's onto something there, right? I think if I remember correctly, what did happen originally was they had a short list, and that short list went to Boli and Iqbali, and they chose from that short list. In this occasion, it seems more that Win Stanley and Lawrence Stewart actually chose the manager this time.
I think
yeah.
And also, I think the reality is, I don't know if one of the stuff that was coming out at the time, like at least, I can't say at the time because it was just last week, was that, what's it called? The ownership wanted De Zerbi, and it was the directors that wanted Enzo Maresca. Now, take that as you will, but I think for me, that if it is true that the ownership wanted Poch, then they wanted De Zerbi, all it shows to me is that they're just doing it. They're doing it they're just going for names for namesake, and that's something I don't wanna be doing. You know, I don't wanna.
Wait, are you talking about De Zerbi, Ahmed? You think De Zerbi?
De Zerbi, because remember, like, if we be honest, De Zerbi, like right now, he's the big name of the town. You know, his style of play, people love it. What he's been doing at Brighton, maybe not so much this season, the injury and stuff. But last season, his stocks are high. if anything, you can make a strong argument that De Zerbi very, very similarly is reminiscent of like when they were trying to get Potter almost, right? So so there's that facts to it. So like again, Maresca, by the way, Maresca, he might have gone to Sevilla if he wasn't fast, by the way. So again, like you know what I'm saying to you. So
there was also, I mean, I don't have the tweets here, but there were also City fans apparently reporting or claiming that he was in consideration for taking the mantle after Pep left. So take that with a pinch of salt, whatever. But there's been a lot of praises for this guy. And listen, at the same time, I get it. With the hiring of Poch, I am of the belief that Poch also sold the directors a dream and kind of told them like, hey, look, and showed them like, hey, look at this football that I'm playing. And then after the fact, after he was secured and his job was not on the line, he was like, okay, fuck it. Now that I'm done impressing, let me actually do what I want to do. Once he was in the job, it kind of feels that way to me because he seemed to have established a system in the preseason, scraps it, and then at the end of the season, reintegrates it and actually starts doing well. So to me, this is my theory, right? And this is my thoughts. To me, if he had actually continued with that system he originally instated, we would have a better system, then the recruitment ended up looking a lot better than they look now.
I think yeah. I'm gonna just tweet what you said. I actually think they believed that it was gonna help the young players improve, like he did at Southampton and Tottenham. And what happened was, and what they basically realized essentially was he clearly didn't want to. He started. There's a point where he stopped doing that and just decided to play a certain amount of players. And then I think he expected, maybe he thought, maybe I can just get him through the door and maybe they'll back me again in January, essentially. You know what I'm saying to you? Like they'll get like some older players for me that I might be asking for. And then when they didn't bring him that stuff and disagreed with him, you know what I mean? They moved on.
I think as well, I guess, sorry, you go ahead. I've spoken enough on this.
No, it's fine. Well, you can go. No, it's fine. Well, you can go.
I was going to quickly say as well, maybe that last summer as well with the options. I get why they hired Poch if they were the only three candidates, which I think they wanted a big name last summer. I think they did want that big name that would at least try and win over people at the club compared to Potter, who was, I guess, a big name but not as proven. Maybe now they've just realised that that's not the right route either, which I do get. And I'm not even trying to shit on Maresca or them appointing Maresca. I'm just saying if this is the reasoning for getting Maresca, I think it is a bit stupid considering De Zerbi isn't necessarily, like from what we're reading, he's not necessarily a control freak. He's had some issues with Brighton because they didn't really reinvest money into the club after losing two of their best players. But at Chelsea, he's not losing 2-3 of his best players. He's not. So.
Again, and actually, let me bring this tweet in here too. Tweet from Dean Jones Soccer. Sources say that Maresca will have a say on transfers and may even get to sign players beyond the age of 25. Here's where I think maybe the differences lie, right?
Dean Jones Soccer.
That's what it says. Dean Jones Soccer.
That's not even a source, man. I'm just telling you, Marshall, personally. No, he's not, man. He's not, man.
Okay, you're gonna read it anyways, despite what you say.
Before you go, that is like the third strike in the space of 5 minutes from Ahmed. I'm just saying, bro.
I've always told him, though. I've told him before about Dean Jones. That's not even the first time. Nah, come on, bro.
He's gonna be tier 1 or tier 2, but he is a source, and this could lead to something. I'm just saying.
Marshall, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. That's what Ahmed's saying right now, bro.
Oh my God,
It
Prime,
seems
bro.
like it seems
Prime, man. Prime is gonna make me crash out, bro.
Anyways, so I think here's one thing, right? I'm trying to think the best I can, putting myself in the shoes of someone if I'm hiring an employee. If I'm hiring an employee and from the get-go, they have certain demands and asks of me in order to accomplish their job, yes, that's going to put me off a little bit more than someone who's going to come in and say, like, listen, I see what you have. I can do this and make this happen. and we can work together towards something to help aid me in this, right? I wasn't in the room. I would love to be a fly in the wall during these interviews, right? To see what the actual truth is. But with the Zerbi, if it's true what Max from London's First Podcast is saying, that he wanted certain players sold and he wanted to bring in certain players, then you're asking for certain personalities that doesn't suit what Paul Winstanley and Norris Stewart are trying to make. In that sense, too, like people are going to say, yes, man, all this shit. Listen, I don't care. I genuinely do not want the manager picking players and choosing what. I want the manager to have a say in transfers, like Maresca right here. I want him to have a say in what type of stylistically, what type of players he's looking for, what type of profiles. I don't want you telling me I want Osimhen, I want Modric, I want whatever you want to say. Just put names out there. Tell me what personalities you want, and we let the scouting team actually do scouting. Because if we're looking at some of the scouts out there, or some of the players that we've scouted previously that we didn't actually get, some of them are actually cooking. I'm not going to lie. There's been some good players that have been scouted by us that we didn't get, and we're seeing them do flourish and actually stand out now. So, I mean, that's my 2 cents on that situation.
Yeah, Marshall, you have a fair point too, because like, I'm sorry, it's been a couple of weeks, and where's De Zerbi? No one has hired him. Apparently, even Jez was saying Bayern rejected him. It's not that he rejected Bayern. We're still thinking it's the United job, but United even haven't fired Ten Hag. And we haven't heard any other reports about any other teams linked to De Zerbi since us and United 2 weeks ago now, almost like a week ago at least. So this could be a genuine issue where he is maybe asking for too much. Because we haven't heard any links with any other clubs. United haven't fired Ten Hag yet. So it's not just maybe us.
Yeah.
I'm just
even Bayern. That's Bayern's a big one, by the way.
I'm just of the view that I think the thing with him is, I don't know if it's what he's asking for, or more so maybe his personality is what is putting people off from.
You think he just rubs people the wrong way?
It might be just that, bro. Sometimes some people have that. Yeah, it's you know what I mean. That might be the case because I feel like another guy that might be similar to that in his current status, is your guy Tuchel. He might be another, at times he can, people don't, you know what I mean?
Let's stop this.
You know what I mean? Everyone has the, they have the, you know what I mean? Listen, man. Everyone has their own unique personality, man. You know what I mean?
Do you know why it's not the same? Because Tuchel is at such a stage of his career where it's not worth his time outside of these top clubs. He's not going to be approached by teams that are below these elite clubs. And he's obviously not going to go back to Bayern, is he? Or re-sign at Bayern because he just left there. He's not going to get the Real Madrid job because of Ancelotti. The Barcelona job, that doesn't suit any manager. It doesn't even suit Flick. I don't know why he's gone there.
Yeah, Flick is a weird assignment, but yeah, go ahead.
Tuchel could be out of a job for a year and get the Real Madrid job. Like, come on, it's not the same.
What's the United job? Hold on. What's the United job? The United job isn't open yet.
I want him to get the United job personally. I think him getting the United job. Listen, that'll be his Mourinho crash out. That'll be his Mourinho crash out, bro. You know what I mean?
Marshall. By the way, you didn't notice like literally a minute ago that dig towards you. That's why you brought up Tuchel. They got you. You didn't notice that.
Oh my god!
We're watching. You're under scrutiny right now.
You know what, man? I'll tell you however I like it. You know what? Yeah, fuck you.
Hey yo, what?
Hey yo.
What do you mean by that?
Tuchel slander.
Marshall, I'm writing it all down in my book. I have it all down in my book. That's what I'm saying.
Lovely.
It's 2025 when Thomas Tuchel is at the Bernabeu, reunited with his boy Mbappe. Yeah, Ahmed, you have to hold that. You're gonna have to hold that.
He's not, bro.
Hey, I agree, man. When he's waiting in the stands, when he's watching those players, when he's waiting in the stands, right?
Why not?
That's gonna be beautiful moment. He's gonna hug it out with Rudiger, man.
Be considered for that.
Hey, I used to manage you. Now I don't manage you anymore. You know
my god.
Considering Xabi Alonso is reportedly on City's watch list, anything can happen, man. That's not
And
right.
in my personal opinion, I've said this before. Whoever gets Tuchel next, that will be his ultimate crash out moment. I know.
Maybe. Time will tell. Time will tell.
But listen, moving on from Tuchel and back to actual De Zerbi, right? Going back.
Oh
to
yes, Ahmed, it's your channel, by the way. So yeah, you take control. Let's move on.
Fuck.
Hey, Joe, I like your comments, man, but that
You're
comes
elite
like-
today. You're elite today, bro. You're elite today, my guy. You are elite today.
All right,
Listen,
so
let's actually move on to the next topic because I feel like we could talk about De Zerbi in this all day. There'll be more streams to discuss the whole Enzo situation, right? Let's move on to a little quick one, unless you guys actually know about the player. There's another youth signing that has been linked to us, and it looks like potentially will happen. And if you guys don't know, let's talk a little bit about Pedro Lima. So, Chelsea advanced negotiations for the 17-year-old international Pedro Lima. Club-to-club negotiations are taking place in Sport Recife in London. Probably said that wrong. Chelsea offer £8.5 million for 17-year-old right back Pedro Lima. And yeah, let's put this in the background while we're discussing. So yeah, Pedro Lima, another right back.
Jesus.
17 years old. I don't know. What do we think, guys? Does anyone know anything about him? First of all,
No.
I reckon there's a potential profit in that deal.
probably.
I don't know, man. He seems like he might have a bit of aura, man. He might have aura. You never know.
Listen, I just need to know one thing: he can stay fit. So he's our backup.
I mean,
Give it 3-4 years, man. Give it 3-4 years.
Reece, start learning Chinese, buddy.
guys, I might have to put him on the list just on football.
So he's how many times? Wait, how many times do you reckon we're gonna see him when he's actually in that lineup? You know, like that bench or?
Hey,
I
mean, he's gonna be a backup.
Because if Reece and obviously Gusto's fit, he's gonna play for our youth team.
He's gone to Strasbourg.
And if
That's a nice cross, though. I'm not gonna lie.
He looks decent, yeah, from this comp. To make him
I mean, comps can.
Yeah,
Don't you want to be careful what you do, Marshall, on this? I don't know. Like,
Listen, I just want to show the best of the player. I want to
Bro.
highlight his.
No,
With
the pauses.
in this comp. What is going on?
You haven't paused it yet.
Marshall, how long into this comp are we?
I don't know.
We're about a minute and 15. We're almost done.
Here we go.
Damn, he is like Danny Alves.
A minute
That's
17.
for a bit of La Pausa there.
5,
And
Some crazy.
guys,
3, 2,
Guys.
1.
guys, we're a
There
minute
you go.
30 into this comp, and you notice he didn't get injured once. Bring him in.
He's got the
Highlight, not a low light.
He looks technically quite good. I'll be real.
No, so
Yeah,
his
but I don't know
comparison is to
it's depends
Cafu.
who's the face against
He's
as well,
been
He's
compared to
facing-
Cafu in Brazil.
Curry knows
He's been
him.
compared to Cafu in Brazil.
So-
He's pretty
so-
good in the
so-
under 17 squad.
He's compared to who?
He's Cafu.
Oh, Cafu. For maybe Danny Alves.
He's in the second
Oh.
division, similar division as Santos, but his team is not that great, so he hasn't had like as much eyes on him compared to Santos because Santos' team
So-
got promoted.
Cafu.
But he's
Who would you
a
guys
good
rather have?
risk to take for 8 million.
Who would you guys rather have?
So
Cafu's regen or the cafeteria Cafu?
It
Huh?
makes you laugh.
What?
Sometimes time changes the background on his
What?
green screen. It's
Fucking
just so
middle
funny, man.
sub.
Go on, bring him in.
Today.
Bring him in.
No.
Oh, you
How
didn't get
long-
the joke, Marshall?
Coffee or Cafu? I was kind of confused.
What?
You didn't say coffee.
I said Cafu. What did you not get, Marshall?
I don't know. I lost you, Prime. I lost you
How
there.
much is Lee?
I said,
Oh, no.
who would you rather have?
8 million.
The Cafu's regen or the cafeteria Cafu?
Oh, I get it now. That's crazy.
You know what, Ahmed? Maybe you are right about Marshall.
Nah, Ahmed's never right about many things. Anyways, let's actually go on to the next segment I had planned for you guys. And let's discuss... we have a lot of goalkeepers we're linked with. And one in particular that we're heavily linked with. Let's work our way through the options here. So, let's open this up and start off with what's going to happen with Robert Sanchez. We continue here. The arrival of a new goalkeeper at Chelsea would require an exit with Robert Sanchez, the favorite to depart following Georgi Petrovic's impressive finish to his debut Premier League season. That's coming from Ryan Taylor Sport. We continue on. Chelsea remain interested in Valencia goalkeeper Georgi Mamardashvili. Philip Jorgensen from Villarreal is another option for Chelsea. It is understood the Blues have been in touch with the goalkeeper's representative. Now, if you guys remember, Mamardashvili was a goalkeeper we were linked with last summer. So it seems like we've reignited the links to that. This is coming from Bobby Vincent. We continue on from Matt Moretto. Reported Chelsea target Philip Jorgensen has a release clause of £34 million. And my understanding is that if an offer of £25.5 million, 25.5 million pounds to 29.7 million pounds comes in for Jorgensen, then there's a decent chance he leaves the club. Continuing on, Chelsea still appreciate Valencia goalkeeper Georgi Mamardashvili, coming from Ben Jacobs. Then, Surfer's favorite, number one choice, Diogo Costa has been approached by Chelsea, which are looking for a new goalkeeper. Porto are open to selling the goalkeeper in the summer in case an offer is deemed satisfactory. We continue on. Now, this is the guy that seems to be the most heavily linked. So, breaking. Chelsea are eyeing a move for Las Palmas goalkeeper Alvaro Valles, coming from Ryan Taylor Sport. Continuing on. Chelsea are eyeing Las Palmas goalkeeper Alvaro Valles. Enzo Maresca wants a ball-playing shot stopper between the sticks at Stamford Bridge next season as he looks to implement a possession-based style of play. And here we have an interesting little chart to kind of show us the statistics for Alvaro Valles. Now, it's a little hard to read. I understand that. Let me actually try to... I don't know if I can make it any bigger than this, unfortunately. So if we look at here, the red is Alvaro, the blue is Philip Jorgensen. Red here, goals conceded 1.21, save percentage are just about equal. Alvaro, shot stopping value added. I don't know what that means, but he's high here on this ranking. SSVA per 100 shots. Shots saved versus what? I don't know what SS. Does anyone know what the hell that's an acronym for?
Can you repeat?
Shot stopping average. I don't know. Then we have sweeper actions. So I guess that's where the possession part comes in. He's higher. Sweeper action distance higher than the Philip Jorgensen guy. Thrown passes higher, but just about equally the same. Long passes a little bit better. And then long passes completed and mistakes in possession. Mistake in possession, we have Jorgensen coming up higher, where Alvaro is a little lower, so on and so forth. So a little bit of a chart to look at. What do we have our thoughts on here? We have a few goalkeepers that we're linked with. Anyone have a particular one that stands out to them?
Costa, just sign Costa, please. Just
no Costa.
Yeah. I don't know how much he'd be, but like, he's definitely worth a look. If he's 60, 70 million, I'd still take it. I think he's the great number one keeper.
To be fair, the Las Palmas goalkeeper, like I don't watch Las Palmas.
I don't know.
I think for me, the thing with the Villarreal goalkeeper, I think he had the highest percentage saves in the league. Like he stopped the most, like in terms of being like the ultimate shot stopper in terms of saves. But with his feet, I think he's just all right with his feet. So for me, if you are going with someone like him, he's almost like another guy where I guess I know he can save all the goals the majority of the goals I want, but like with his feet, again, I haven't seen that much on him. With Mamardashvili, I'm just not really moved by him at all, personally. Then you go into the next two people. Of course, Diogo Costa is great and all. I just think the value of which you're going to be buying for Diogo Costa, I don't know if I'm sold on that with him.
How much? 60 mil?
67.
It could be 70. It could be 70.
I'd pay it.
Yeah.
I think I'll still pay it.
For me personally, I'm not too sure on that.
Going Man City.
Now, in regards to the Valles guy, this guy, he had a very similar trajectory to as a guy that we had in Edouard Mendy, right? He was playing League 2 the last 3 years. He's actually risen up the league, been playing really well. So again, he's someone where I feel like maybe if you bring him in, he's more than likely gonna bang. I feel like He might, if he's continued that trajectory, and also, you know, especially with guys like him, they're very hungry. You know what I mean? They've got something to prove. So that's why for me, so that's why for me, like again, he's an option where I look at that and I feel like, you know, he has something to prove. He's got a chip on his shoulder. I like that, man.
I mean, he might be good. I don't know.
Yeah, none of us really know. If I'm reading this correctly, Ahmed, this is 4 saves per game, right? That's the statistic, 4.0.
But again, you have to take into account. You have to take into account which one is the blue, the Jorgensen guy?
Yeah, blue.
Yeah. Again, like he was like, again, he was doing crazy. He was like the shot stopper of La Liga this season, if I'm not mistaken.
Takes in possession, Valle had more because I don't. Well, that's not one too much, so I don't really like. Also, we got to realize that these are 2 completely different teams. Like
exactly.
That's another thing to keep in mind. Yes, Las Palmas would be a weaker side, I'm assuming, than Valencia. So I would assume that Valles would be more exposed to, you know, shots on target, so on and so forth. So it's that's something to consider for sure. I like what I'm seeing in terms of Valles seems to be more spread out. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm okay with our recruitment team in terms of when it comes to recruiting players. I think if they do see something in this guy, then I think I trust them to that this might be the guy. Because the other thing too is like, if we can get something similar to Diogo Costa at a less value, why not? You know, that's where I stand with it. Why not? So I think a lot of people tend to go, let's go for Diogo Costa because we know the name.
Yeah, that might be the bias.
The thing I always say also is, this is a thing I would add. Why is no one going for Diogo Costa right now?
It literally said in the comment that City are looking at him because Edison could leave.
No, but like again, he was available last season. Again, he was available. He's available again this season. You know, sometimes when, you know, a big player that, you know, people like, you know, find attractive, you know, and, you know, no one's going in for them. You know, listen, we need to look at Hakim Ziyech. No one was going for him. Eventually, Chelsea did go after him.
The big clubs in Europe, how many of them needed a goalkeeper last summer?
We needed probably a goalkeeper. I would say United needed a goalkeeper last summer before they got
So only two. Man United are a mess.
But they got Onana over Costa.
No, but I'm saying at the time. But you said at the time, innit? Yeah.
No, but he's a flop. And he's a flop. You know, Chelsea got Petrovic, but for whatever reason,
Tottenham needed a goalkeeper and they went for Vicario.
Yeah.
Tottenham, I said big clubs, Marshall. Let's not.
Yeah, their budget.
They had the budget to afford the guy. That's what I'm trying to say.
Let's be honest, though. Like, the only clubs that would spend that money are us, City, potentially Liverpool, but they got Alisson, who's the best in the world.
Exactly.
PSG, but they have Donnarumma.
Yeah, Madrid literally had Lunin Kepa. Well, they signed Kepa on loan because they didn't want to spend money on a goalkeeper. Bayern have Neuer. Yes.
But wait, guys, even Inter Milan. Inter Milan, once they got rid of, once they sold Onana, they needed a replacement keeper, and Diogo Costa.
Yeah,
because someone was cheap. So
who is it they have?
Someone he's arguably better than Costa right now because he's a very good goalkeeper. So
the way I look at it, though, the way I see it is that
my point being, Marshall, a lot of work.
Go ahead, Prime. I can't hear you. You're frozen.
No, I stopped speaking for you to speak.
Oh, okay. Just real quick, and then you go. Obviously, I look at Georgi Petrovic. No one was rating Georgi Petrovic. People were, had the eyebrow raised because he was coming from MLS, and he ended up being a fantastic keeper for us. Yes, he was missing a few elements that, again, he's young. No one really expected him to be the complete keeper at the age he's at. Like, I forget how old he is. He's really young. But it's if they were able to scout him And this guy has been in the game a little longer than Georgi Petrovic. I think this could be a good grab. I don't know.
I just want to say, at the end of the day, right, and this is what I'm going to put it down to, is this. If you don't want to pay that money, it's down to your scouts. And, you've got guys like, obviously, his name just escapes my mind right now. Like, I forgot, not Paul Stanley. What's his name again? The chief scout for Chelsea?
Joe Shields.
You got Joe Shields, you got other guys, the other major scouts. You got Sam Drew now, who's another guy that's meant to be a chief scout as well. So you got multiple of these guys that are chief scouts. If you're going, you got a good scouting network, you can find yourself another Diego Costa for 20 million cheap, 30 million cheap, and that might be your Alvaro Valles maybe.
It might be, and I'm not going to write him off because again, I'm not spending my life watching Las Palmas over other clubs, to be completely honest. But when there is a very much a proven player out there who is relatively experienced for his age, who is expensive, yes, but it's hardly breaking a record for a goalkeeper. It's still going to be cheaper than what we've paid in the past. Why not just get that option? Because goalkeeper, there's not many proven top goalkeepers out there. And I'm not saying this guy from Las Palmas is not going to be good. But if you want to, I think the goalkeeper long term is one where you want to get one of the best, if not the best. So I'm not opposed to spending that money on a Diogo Costa. I'm not even saying he has to come in. I'm saying if we are going for a goalkeeper and we're not putting our trust into the younger guys, what is the point of replacing a younger guy who's a risk with another risk? That's my point.
So
real quick before you go, Ahmed, real quick, because I noticed I skipped one by accident. How do you guys also feel? Let's add into this conversation. How do you guys also feel about James Trafford, who's also been linked with us?
No.
Nah, I'd rather sign the other two. And I've never watched that guy play for Las Palmas, but I'd rather him over what I've seen of Trafford this season.
Go ahead, Ahmed.
So I wanted to ask Will this question. Yeah, let's look at the guy that let's look at. I've got an example of a person, right? And that is Man United and their GK situation. So right, they brought in a guy like who's Keith Onana to essentially be the number one goalkeeper for that time. I would say before he went, obviously after Apathy and I had not so great, but it was average stop I would say, and was good with his feet. But clearly, that hasn't turned out to be 100%, gone well for him, right? And they went for their best option in the market at that time.
But I disagree that he was the best option in the market.
But in their opinion, he was their best option in the market and was able to help the manager, and it didn't work out so well. So I just think for me the point is sometimes going for the number one option isn't always good. Ahmed,
you're wrong though. Onana wasn't the best option in the market. It's the manager that wanted Onana.
No, but I said for their style of play, he was though. That's why I said.
No, you're also wrong. For their style of play, Onana wasn't the best option in the market. But the manager,
because if the manager, because if I'm not mistaken, didn't Ten Hag want someone that could play off the back really well, which Onana can do.
That's Onana can do that as well.
Yeah, but remember with him, he could do that. He did that at Ajax as well.
He was not great on the ball.
Onana. Ten Hag wanted Onana.
That's the point I'm trying to make, brother.
You're saying they wanted a goalkeeper that played out of the back. No, Ten Hag requested Onana. It's not as if he said, "Get me a goalkeeper," and they found Onana. No, he wanted Onana, just like he wanted Anthony. He requested these players. That's the point. Okay. That's the point we're making. That's why I said last summer how many big clubs wanted a goalkeeper. Man United, they're a mess. They allowed Ten Hag to control their transfers. Chelsea, instead of spending big on a quality goalkeeper, who Petrovic or Diogo Costa is still a risk because he's young, we went and got what's his name? We went and got
I win!
No, you don't win, Ahmed. You don't win. You said no one won Costa. You don't win. Who's either way, bro?
No, it's not. I'm not saying, I didn't say Onana doesn't fit the profile. I'm saying Ten Hag wanted Onana. Because if it was about the profile, if it was about the profile solely, if it was about the profile solely, then they would have bought Costa because he's better.
Stop at the Rashford celebration.
Ahmed, you lost either way, bro. You literally somehow lose either way because you said no one wanted Costa, so you still lost.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyways, so we'll see what happens with the goalkeeper situation. There are a few. It looks like we're actually going to go for a goalkeeper now. And listen, whoever it is, as long as it's the right profile, I'm okay with it. I'm not going to get upset.
Do you know who he's going to be?
And we'll go
and
from
usually when it comes to transfers, I'm usually in general, I'm usually kind of correct when it comes to transfers. Kind of correct. Okay, keyword. I think probably we will go for the Villarreal goalkeeper. That's the first one that came up. They've even released the price tag. Clearly seems like that's something that we would be going towards a planning. So it is what
I think we're getting Vélez or whatever his name is. I think that's who we're going to get.
But I think more than likely it's going to be Jorgensen. The fact that he came out first, the fact that we even know what the fee that you're probably could be paying is already, and the fact that we already are probably speaking to his representatives. That was one that came out. Representatives been spoken to. We know what the transfer money that we need to pay for it is. That's the guy we're targeting.
What country is he from?
He's from Sweden. So again, that's why for me, I wouldn't be surprised if he's the first guy that's done.
Does anyone know if he's going to start for Sweden? Wait, Sweden's
not in the Euros.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. That is a shame.
Also, to go by Ahmed's logic, we knew a year and a half ago or a year ago what Osimhen's price tag. So I guess we're getting Osimhen with that logic because we know his price tag. He was first. So if we're going by that logic, the same guy who says we're going to go get Sesko, so I guess we're getting Osimhen now.
But we knew. But again, we've spoken to his representatives. That's a difference. The thing of Osimhen, we knew we spoke to his representatives before. We even know what his contract is way before because that's already out in the open. But we just decided not to go after him.
So, clip it now. Ahmed is saying the
Villarreal.
The Villarreal goalkeeper. Thank you, Curry.
Ahmed,
and Will is saying Las Palmas keeper.
Sorry, bro.
You're saying a goalkeeper. Say his name.
Your internet's moving mad, bro. I think you might need to restart.
What's his name, Ahmed?
Let's go.
Goalkeeper.
Jurgensen?
Yeah, Philip Jurgensen. Philip
Jurgensen.
Ahmed said goalkeeper. Let me say his name.
Kind of crazy. We're gonna have another young goalkeeper. It's kind of crazy.
We'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell. We'll come back to this. But all right, let's move on to the next portion of the show, which is actually I didn't even put a banner for this because I totally forgot about this guy. But let's just quickly talk on Alfie Gilchrist. So,
Prime, this is all yours. I'm not going to say anything.
Championship clubs making contact for Alfie Gilchrist. Millwall and Swansea both like him among those keen, but not alone, as he has several options. He is set to be loaned out by Chelsea, according to full timers Darko. Is it Darko's?
Millwall made me laugh, man.
Wait, Darko's the source?
Yeah, Darko's the source.
Hey,
so,
reliable.
He has connections, man. He's more reliable than some of these journalists. So let's not disrespect.
Yeah. But I mean, like we all said it, right? Like Alfie Gilchrist needed to go out on a loan or somewhere. He's not gonna. He shouldn't be in the team next season.
He's probably going to go to Swansea.
Do you guys remember what I said? The guy's going to be sent out to Millwall.
That's funny, man. That's such a Gilchrist club.
Yeah, he did say that.
Ah, fair enough.
But again, I think probably he'll go Swansea.
He's done a lot of
Swansea actually have like a really good relationship with Swansea. You've sent like a bunch of players to Swansea. Yeah. Bashir Humphries was there last season, of course. Guy's been there before. So I feel like Swansea just have, because you have a better relationship with them, probably would go Swansea, I'll be honest.
Nah, he's gone to Millwall, bro.
And plus Swansea's like...
guys. See who wins at the end of the season.
If I'm not mistaken, Swansea's usually like a mid-table side in a way. Like what's it
Clip
called?
it and post it on the Discord if you haven't joined the Discord already. We'll have all the clips there to see who predicted
Hopefully
what.
he can play centre back next season.
You know what? I think he'll go
maybe,
Swansea as well. I think he'll go Swansea.
There you go.
I think he'd be a bench player too.
And then at the end of the season, at the end of the transfer window, we'll react to our transfer window predictions.
Wait, Chris, you think he'll be a backup as well? You say?
He'd be a bench player, yeah. I think he'd be a bench player.
By Millwall.
Yeah.
No, I don't
Really?
Do you watch Millwall, Chris? Do you watch Millwall, Chris?
Yeah,
Like,
they actually
no,
must succeed.
I'm being serious because, like, I'm asking how do you know
All I'm
he's going to
saying,
go?
yeah, is one of
I
my
do.
friends.
I do. They're my second team. Do you watch them?
One of my friends.
Be a Millwall fans next season.
One-
if you want.
One of
Chris,
my
Dirk's a bad man. I'm being serious. Go Dirk's side.
one of my good friends' cousins
Deadly
has
serious.
played over 50 games for Millwall in the last 2 seasons. Yeah, and let me just say they are shit. They are so shit.
Guys, he's gonna go to Millwall and he'll be a starter at Millwall. So
There you
he'll
go.
start from Millwall.
For the sake of development, we hope that's the case, right? So,
Yeah,
For the sake of
Well, thank you.
you
Thank
can
you,
call
Prime,
it
for that.
development all you want. I
Thank you
want my
for
pure
that,
profit and a
Thank you,
couple.
Prime, for the thank you, Prime, for the comment.
What?
Thank you for the comment, Prime.
Prime's
Love it.
internet keeps cutting him off in the most crucial
Yeah,
time.
man.
I don't want you to speak.
Yeah, because he's playing
Man,
FIFA and
you
FIFA's
know what I
just
mean?
taking all
When
the,
he's when it's
Take
peak,
all
it's
the
peak.
internet away.
You know what I mean?
he's just taking the bandwidth,
It
bro.
is. Yeah, man. Reece James X Prime. You know what I mean? We love
Yeah.
it, man.
Okay, let's continue on then because we have more links and outgoings from the Cobham side of things, a pure profit team. Let's start off with the first one, the Gallagher interest. Things have seemed to be gaining a little bit of traction on this end. So let's start off with this first tweet here. Conor Gallagher, a target for Tottenham Hotspur and Aston Villa. Chelsea will listen to offers for a number of other homegrown players, including Trevor Chalobah, Armando Broja, Ian Maatsen, according to John Percy from The Telegraph. We will follow up with the rest of those players on the list, but we're starting off with Conor Gallagher. Aston Villa are looking at Conor Gallagher as they attempt to boost the squad ahead of the next season's Champions League campaign, with Chelsea open to doing business due to profit and sustainability rules. Villa have a strong interest in Gallagher, who manager Unai Emery believes can suit their new approach. Tottenham Hotspur are also still looking at the 24-year-old, but that does not seem as easy to do as it would have been a year ago. Now, as some of you guys have predicted, Gallagher's value has probably gone up as he had a decent season with Chelsea. And not to mention, listen, we saw Spurs sign Timo Werner. I will not be surprised if they sign Conor Gallagher. It is not far-fetched.
Gallagher is a lot more money than Timo. Timo was like 20-25 million, right?
No, less.
Yeah, but it's not a
Less.
serious signing.
His
Gallagher
loan is they've re-signed him on loan. I think his buy option is like 16 million or something. So,
I think we'll go re-sign Gallagher on a small contract. 1 year.
You
to 3
think kind
years.
of like what we did with Maatsen?
Basically, yeah. I guess I don't know how many contract his extension was, but like, yeah, I think we'll go do have Gallagher. I don't see anyone paying 50 million for Gallagher on 1 year left. I think it's just going to come to we'll just re-sign for another 3 years or something, and then maybe next season we might sell him. I don't mind Gallagher as a backup either, by the way. I think he'd be a great backup for Chelsea. I don't think he's like that awful. But yeah, like I think we're keeping this guy, by the way. I just leave it.
Because the thing is, I agree with Chris that he's a decent backup. I would happily sell him. My issue is that if the club decide to replace him with a big money backup, let's say they do that, and they end up being Sarcasm's move, what would the point be of that? So I've seen us linked to Amadou Onana before, who would cost a similar price to what we'd sell Gallagher for. So I think if we're going to replace him with someone who's expensive and it's a Sarcasm's move, you might as well just keep him. But I don't mind if he's moved on.
He's not. He's again. This is just my opinion, but he's not gonna be. If he gets sold, we're not replacing him because I don't think we need to actually replace him. In my personal opinion,
We got other backups, yeah.
We've got multiple options there. Santos, Cassidy. You've got even what's it called? Ugochukwu is there. Lavia can play there.
Carney.
Carney.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so
We have a lot of backups, but I don't mind.
But
them as
Ahmed,
backups
my
either.
point of view is if they do go for someone else, because we have been linked to a couple of midfielders in the last 6 months. Hence why.
I just feel like right now the midfield era for Chelsea, we're just too stocked. And then there's Pires coming in 2025. We can also play in the Gallagher position too. So really, realistically, I don't feel like we need anyone there, honestly.
I swear, if we ever play players in the Gallagher role, I want this club liquidated.
But you can play there. He plays there from time to time too. So that's the thing. You got at the end of the day, the point I think I'm just trying to make. There's numbers. You got numbers there. So
Yeah, you can play as a 10, a 6.
Don't call it the Gallagher role, please.
What did you just say, Chris?
Play as a 10, a 6.
Who? Pires? What are you...
Oh! Shit, my bad.
Oh.
Listen, all I'm gonna say. I've said this before. I don't think Gallagher's going to leave. If I feel like they're gonna get Chalobah to get sold, and then they're gonna keep Gallagher. I feel like they're gonna keep him.
Well, let's continue discussing the players that we're potentially going to sell. Let's move on to the next one that we have here is Maatsen and his future at the club. Okay, I'll put my 2 cents in about this after we're done reading this. But Ian Maatsen, he said this earlier last week. Ian Maatsen on Chelsea, no, not yet. He hasn't spoken to them yet. They've come a couple of times to Dortmund to see how I am, and they're happy with my development. We continue on. Oops, wrong thing. We continue on. Ian Maatsen on his future. Still have a contract, and after summer, we're going to decide where my future is going to be. I know I came here to Dortmund to prove myself, and I can play at the highest level and the highest stage, and that's what I'm doing. Then we have here Borussia Dortmund will approach Chelsea after the UCL final to negotiate for Ian Maatsen. The opening proposal will be under £35 million clause value, but with different structure. Maatsen, very happy at Dortmund and among priority targets for Borussia Dortmund. And then lastly, we have here from Kieran Gill. Borussia Dortmund do not have first option on Ian Maatsen this summer, with Chelsea's £35 million release clause open to any club interested in a 22-year-old left back. And I'll say this about Ian Maatsen. I don't think Chelsea are in a rush to get rid of him. I think if someone were to trigger the release clause, then they get him, obviously. But if someone doesn't, I think Chelsea have no issues keeping him. Because I don't think the plan, and this is me just being hopeful maybe, I don't think the plan was ever to really sell Ian Maatsen. I think what ended up happening was because Pochettino didn't want Maatsen, and because Pochettino was not using him, he was being wasted away on the bench, so we needed to loan him. And as a result, he also didn't want to sign a contract because he wasn't getting the play time. And it affected a lot of things. So we've been forced to kind of do this, I guess. And maybe it was Ian Maatsen's camp that suggested the release clause, not necessarily Chelsea. So there's two sides to the story. Everyone wants to tell you that it's pure profit, but they had if they wanted to pure profit, they probably could have sold him in the summer. There was an offer from Burnley that Maatsen did not want, but he probably could have been sold in the summer. That's all I'm saying.
In that time in January, December, we were still like the future was still with Pochettino in charge as manager. So
yeah,
Pochettino doesn't have a say on transfers, but we got rid of Maatsen on loan because of Pochettino.
He's right, by the way, because if we truly didn't want Maatsen to go, the release was going to be higher. And listen, at the end of the day, he's probably.
It's also Maatsen's camp as well. They have to agree to a release clause.
I want him to stay, but
I agree.
Personally, if Cucurella is leaving, then he's going too, my friend. That's just the reality. We just
he's not leaving, dude. What are you talking about?
The reason why I say that is because we know apparently Cucurella is on the chopping block, bro. That's no point. Listen, you can hate on me.
This don't make any sense. Like, yeah,
Cucurella is actually on the chopping block. That's not me hating. That's not even me hating.
I know.
Okay, hold on, Ahmed. I need to dissect this then. If you're saying it's not you hating, where are the links? Where are you hearing that Cucurella is on the chopping block?
He's got a tinfoil hat somewhere.
Okay.
Ahmed's not entirely wrong. I saw.
No. There were links earlier in the season.
There were links.
I haven't heard anything recently. Doing extensive research for the show.
Okay, there were no link. The point for me is that last season there was links. This season probably is more than likely going to be links again for him to be moved on. I personally believe they can't really move on Chilwell because of the fact that he's really just the vice captain.
I understand that.
So therefore, it leaves him to be the one that has to go. If you're gonna bring in another left back, that's just what it is, bro.
The thing is, though,
not wrong. I saw that they were looking to sell Cucurella and Maatsen, and Chilwell would be our starting.
Ugh. But the thing that doesn't make sense to me, I think it sounds like to me that Ahmed's running based off of assumptions, because to me, if I'm going to run off based off of the same assumptions, right? I don't think you sell Cucurella. Why would you? When the next manager system actually uses inverted fullbacks, and Cucurella happens to be one of them. And Maatsen, if he were to stay, could do that role as well. I don't think Chilwell can. Chilwell would have to be developed into that role. So it doesn't make sense to me.
But again, they're already actively looking for a new left back. That guy's going to be their star, whether you want to tell me or not.
Yeah, I think it's to get rid of Chilwell eventually. I don't think it's going to happen this summer, but Chilwell will be phased out.
But then that means you're probably going to have two guys in each position, right? If we're being honest, because of the conflict too, right? So then that's going to leave you with the new guy, and then whoever's going to be the backup, which is most likely to be Chilwell. So then where does Cucurella fit into that? Like, I'm just asking you, bro.
As far as I'm aware, right now Cucurella is the starting left back.
But we already know the club. We've read it to us. Sources have told us. We are literally actively looking for a left back for the team. So
I'm aware.
No, we aren't. In latest reports, it says winger, center back, striker, and goalkeeper. It does not say left back for the past.
It's actually true. Actually, fair enough.
For the past week,
I was
thinking
it has
not been saying left back.
You're right.
For the past week, it has not been in every report. That's why we're linked with Summerville and Olise. Even today's or yesterday's report said wingers, center back, maybe two, striker, and goalkeeper. For the past week, we have not said left back. Because Cucurella might just fit Maresca's system, because we just hired Maresca a week ago. That's when the link stopped for left back.
All right, then. If he's staying or if he's not staying, fair enough. But listen, I just think for me, he was on that chopping block last season. It would make, I don't know if I just don't see what has changed necessarily. Yeah, you can say
Pochettino.
But the thing is though, when he's able to play in Poch's system though. That's the difference. He's actually able to play in Poch's system. That's the difference.
Who?
I would say was it Cucurella?
But that wasn't.
He's saying the change from Pochettino.
No, hold on. I think what Ahmed's trying to conflate a whole lot of timeline. The links to Cucurella leaving were before Pochettino decided to invert his fullbacks. Exactly. Once he inverted his fullbacks, those links completely died.
The thing is, he was being planted sold before even Poch came in. Because remember, he had that really, really bad season.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
So that's the reason why. So I'm saying under Poch, even when he wasn't inverting, he was still playing well. I would say defensively, he was still able to work. Maybe not after he goes past the halfway line per se, but before that, he was doing a great job. I would argue.
Well, I think scenarios now change with the new manager. Scenarios now change. We will see what happens with Maatsen. I don't think the plan was ever to get rid of Maatsen, which was my initial point. I think with Maatsen, listen. At the end of the day, I want Chilwell gone. I don't think Chilwell is going to leave anytime soon. Maybe next season we can have the discussion about Chilwell leaving.
Has 2 years left in his deal, by the way, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that's what I mean. I think next season we can discuss Chilwell leaving. But as for Maatsen, I think someone is going to trigger the release clause, and we will lose Maatsen. I don't think we could say no to someone triggering the release clause. It's a release clause for a reason.
I
only one who could say no, yes, Maatsen.
I just think again. If I was to assume, let's just say, the thing about Cucurella, he's on wages that were happening post, directives too. So that's something that you need to think about as well, by the way. And so, in terms of how much he's earning, maybe there's a school of thought of like, he's earning a bit too much, might not necessarily be a star for us. That got to think about that.
Yeah, and here we have another tweet that I forgot to read. Kieran Gill pretty much emphasizing what I said. The expectation is that he will be sold this summer. We'll see. Someone is going to go for him because someone sees a talent. Someone's going to activate the release clause. Someone's not going to joke around and drop the 35 million on him because they know it's worth it and they know it's a bargain. Dortmund are trying to finagle the price and like, listen, no, there's a number, there's a release clause. If you want him, trigger the release clause and then you'll get him. But time will tell. We'll see. Because again, how can you lose someone you were trying to sell? I don't think the club were trying to sell him. This is my thought. I think the release clause was added from Ian Maatsen's agent's camp because the player wants to play. He doesn't want to be stuck in Chelsea Academy. He doesn't want to be stuck being a bench player, which Pochettino made him when he shouldn't have been. He should have been playing over Chilwell. When Cucurella was injured especially, he should have been playing there over Colwell. So time will tell, but I think we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's move on to another Chelsea player that could potentially be sold that was mentioned on that list, and that is our friend here, Broja, Chris's favorite player. So let's talk about Broja potentially going to Monaco, right? Chelsea striker Armando Broja has interest from Monaco and multiple clubs in Europe. He's available and ready to take the next step. The striker was valued close to £50 million in January, but the fee could drop between 25 million to 30 million pounds. Wow.
You know what's going to drop to next? 10 million. Because he ain't getting sold for 25.
Chelsea could look to leverage any discounts by adding a sustainable sell-on clause or a favorable buyback clause to make the deal worthwhile. We continue on. Armando Broja is also open to a Saudi move. Wolves, Crystal Palace, Everton are 3 Premier League clubs interested, and 25 million pounds is the ballpark club's consideration. Then lastly here, interested clubs are hoping to pay a maximum of 20 million pounds for Armando Broja. His value has dropped heavily after not playing for Fulham much while on loan. And then we have one more tweet here. Chelsea are ready to sell Armando Broja to Monaco, tracking the striker. The fee could be 25 to 30 million pounds. Chris, you can hold that. Fraud.
Well,
anyways,
you say I can hold it. It ain't done yet. It's not done.
It ain't done yet, but it's looking.
You know what,
like
Marshall? I would love to scam a club like this. Just take. We get 25 million for this guy. That'd be brilliant. But
Chris, I don't necessarily listen. Okay, listen. Take your biases out of the way. Okay.
Wait, biased?
Yes, your biases.
Why is Chris?
I understand he had a shit.
Why is Chris supposed to hold?
I understand. Armando Broja had a shit season this season.
What about last season?
The last season when he busted up his ACL.
And the season before
when
that.
Everyone had a shit season.
What about the season before that? It was 6 goals at Southampton.
That was good for Southampton.
No, that wasn't. Datro Fofana had a better season. When coming halfway through the season, he scored 6 goals. What are we doing now?
No. I'm not comparing.
He was one of Southampton's best players, by the way.
Yes.
I cut you off.
One of the best players.
To be fair, I don't rate Broja, but some Southampton fans do want him back at them next year.
Exactly.
So.
My point in saying, my point in this, right? I'm okay with him going. I don't want to risk him being washed now or I don't want to risk him continuing on the season he had this season because I don't know what kind of player. I don't have the patience to wait to see how he comes back from the injury and all that jazz, right? It looks like he's lost a little bit of this pace that he used to have, so on and so forth. But I'm sure there are some clubs that are willing to be patient and wait for him to potentially be the striker that it looked like he was going to be, which to me, 2 seasons ago, under Potter, when he played a little bit with us, and even under Southampton when he was playing, he looked like a promising striker. So if those clubs want to pay that much for potential, then so be it. Because at this point, we're talking about potential.
Monaco, he'll be replacing, is it Taremi?
Maybe.
Don't they have they've got an old striker, right?
Wissam Ben Yedder.
Yeah.
But he left the club, and there's also because he had a pending R case. Let's leave it like that.
Yeah. But yeah, listen, regardless of whether Chris or not rates him, who cares about Chris? In the footballing world, there are people that do rate bro. Who cares about me?
Yeah.
Hey, you're right, Chris. No one cares about us. That's fine. Anyways, in the footballing world, people do. I don't.
Ladies, just get your point out.
in the footballing world, like Broja is rated, and him going to like a Monaco, you know, will suit him. I wish him luck. Hope he does well there.
Yeah, I hope he does well wherever he goes, but I don't think he needs to stay at Chelsea anymore. I think we're done. Someone deflating?
Sorry?
That's just... Oh, my days. Hold on. Let me pull up one more thing real quick. And I mean, anyone else have some final thoughts on Chalobah?
I'll be honest. No, we need to speak about why are we speaking about Chalobah. Let's speak about.
Not Chalobah. I'm sorry, Broja.
A great player before he's washed.
Listen, man. If you're being honest about Broja going for 20 million makes sense. I don't know about 25. If you do maybe a 20 million plus 5 million add-ons, you can probably get 25 million for him. I just think, you know, he's had an ACL season. He's then had a really bad season the season after coming back from it. You had a guy that was in the Brazilian league, just come for Fulham, who just literally just took over from him. Again, you know, we don't know really if he's torn his ACL. A lot of his game was a bit explosive. If you guys will probably agree with me, I think it a bit like, you know, right, and then so, you know, adapting to that, you know, losing that bit of that pace, a little, you know, I mean, and everything like that. It's gonna take a lot of time to adjust. But if you truly believe in him, wanna, you know, put the work into him, then fair play. But again, you know, I just personally feel that the football club is stupid to believe that, you know, Broja is worth 25 to 30 mil, but, you know, Chalobah is only worth 25 million. Just a bit of stupid logic, personally.
We will see, because I think at the end of the day, I think I get where the logic is coming from. I think the logic is coming from the fact that the striker market, the pricing for strikers is so overinflated that, like, why not just play the same game? If you guys are going to be selling it for this high and people are biting the bullet, then so be it. You know,
I hope he cooks for Ajax, man. I hope he cooks for Ajax, because if he don't cook for Ajax, for Ajax. So I hope he cooks for Albania. I hope he cooks for Albania in the Euros.
Okay.
Because if you don't, man, you know what I mean. Here we go at Ahly.
Ahmed, you said something about Broja and Chalobah about pricing. Repeat that.
I would just say that I find it a bit stupid that, you know, we can value Broja 5 million more than Chalobah. Well, because I feel like in this market, you could probably get the same amount of money, if not more, in my personal opinion, Ahmed Abdi opinion, for a guy like Chalobah. You could probably get 40 million for Chalobah, I think. 40 million for Chalobah. Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's why you're Ahmed Abdi. Chalobah in the footballing world is not, like, he's not rated that highly. He's a backup level centre back. Broja, regardless of your personal opinion, like, he is rated. Like, the fact of there's 5 million in valuation, but you think Chalobah is just great centre back, whereas Broja has just come back from a major injury 2 seasons ago and just had a bad season, shows you Broja is rated highly. So, like, cry all you want, but the truth is the truth.
Well, speaking on,
I've been hating on him, bro. I'm just saying that, you know, one of them's not even played for 2 seasons. That's the only reason why I have that school of thought, bro.
And yet, it's 5 million valuation. That shows the levels.
We'll see. You guys did just mention Chalobah. Before we actually discuss Chalobah, 100 of you guys are watching right now on YouTube. If you wouldn't mind, please smash up the like button, because it does help out with the YouTube algorithm and the channel growth. And if you're new here, subscribe, because we're going to be doing this all summer, talking about transfer news and so on and so forth. But before we actually move on to Chalobah, there's a player that we must discuss who potentially is the reason Chalobah goes. And that's Tosin ADARABIOYO. So Tosin, here we go, ladies and gents. It's done. It is done. Let's discuss, though, how we came about this.
Say his name again.
Tosin ADARABIOYO.
You just...
No.
Oh. Unlucky Marshall.
Tosin ADARABIOYO. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it.
No
one knows how to pronounce it.
Just say Tosin.
You try.
American? No. Like, why are you pronouncing it like he's South American?
Is that how I pronounce things? Because I'm South American.
Oh, okay.
We'll get the South American out.
You're pronouncing his name wrong.
You guys are trying to...
Tosin ADARABIOYO.
ADARABIOYO. Tosin ADARABIOYO. Yeah, okay, whatever. Let's continue.
Oh, you gotta take that right.
Let's do the show. Let's do the show. Anyways, exclusive.
That was me personally,
in on deal to sign Tosin ADARABIOYO. Negotiations on final stages. Newcastle have been working on Tosin deal for weeks, but CFC now clear favorites, cautious until it's sealed. Tosin to be first signing for the Enzo Maresca Plan regime if all goes as planned. We continue on. Chelsea want to increase their homegrown quota, and Tosin ADARABIOYO also represents excellent value. There would be greater competition for a first team place at Chelsea, though they are looking to sell Chalobah for around £25 million. Chelsea have stepped up their interest to beat Newcastle for Tosin ADARABIOYO. Chelsea have been in contact to offer Tosin ADARABIOYO, yada yada. And then we have here finally Fabrizio Romano. Tosin ADARABIOYO to Chelsea. Here we go. Initial approach 1 month ago and verbal agreement reached today. Medical tests have also been booked, set to take place next week. Documents set to be signed after medical if all goes as planned. Exclusive story confirmed, which really wasn't exclusive, but we continue on. Breaking. Tosin ADARABIOYO will have Chelsea medical next week ahead of signing a long-term contract. There is a feeling behind the scenes at Chelsea that Tosin ADARABIOYO's career can follow the same trajectory as the former center back Nathan Ake, who left Stamford Bridge for Bournemouth in 2017, according to Sami Makbel. Tosin ADARABIOYO has a will to win and constantly studies footage of other defenders like Sergio Ramos. Company and Stones helped Tosin ADARABIOYO read the game better. Guardiola worked on his ball playing, and he's benefited from Marco Silva's intense training, according to Henry Winter. We continue on with a little bit of a Tosin ADARABIOYO comp there while we discuss the player. But go on, guys. What did you want to say about Tosin? Are we happy with this move? Are we... not impressed, so on and so forth.
I just pronouncing his name wrong just to annoy me.
I just want to personally just call him Tosin, just because I don't want to get in trouble with any of the West African community. You know what I mean? I'm a nice guy. You know what I mean? From I just want that to be known. You know what I mean?
But you constantly criticize Nigeria, but now you don't want to be in trouble with the West African community.
Listen, man. Well, listen, they criticize Osimhen just like you. They cook Osimhen just like me. So hey, man, I'm winning on that one. Hey, don't you worry about that, Chief. So listen,
can we get some opinions on Tosin?
Listen, Tosin, he looks like a cheeky little player. You know what I mean? But
What's that mean?
You know what? It means he looks like a cheeky little player. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say, buddy. But looks like a little cheeky player we could use. You know what I mean? Yeah. See, listen. Yeah. You know what I mean? Big up Jez, man. See, Jez knows balls, man. You know what I mean? Jez knows his ball. You know what I mean? See, Adam, look at this. Adam knows, man. I don't know that Tosin, very good aerially from what I've heard. He's very good with his apparently he's quite fast, apparently. That's the word on the street right now. Quite a fast player. You know what I mean? Got a bit of pace. Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to ask Curry, because Curry seemed to have wanted this guy a lot when we were linked to him. Curry, what are your thoughts on Tosin? Are you happy with this move?
Very much so. Just because he's a decent ball playing center back, he does take risks with the passes. So he's willing to take the long ball or the ball that's more risky, but the reward's high. The downside with that is that he does get the quote unquote bozo gene, because there's a sense of not cockiness, but a sense of overconfidence with him when he does have the ball to feet, that he at times when he gets pressed does lose the ball. That's just because he trusts his own ability. But besides that, he's pretty good at reading the game. He's great at blocking shots, and not like these shitty blocks that we have where we're putting our leg out and then it deflects into the net, like actual strong-footed blocks, not this like soft shit. Great aerially, which is great, 6'5", so that definitely helps for us. And since he's played in the Man City system, and Maresca has also coached him for
a couple of months, that also makes sense why all this is going around in general, right? He's going to easily bet into the system. He can help the other center backs also that aren't familiar get the general gist of it. He's 26.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
So
We had a under 24 role or something.
I mean, you don't turn down free options, you know. He is free.
Listen, guys. Yeah, I know you guys talk about Somalia versus Nigeria, Ahmed versus Prime, but listen, Ahmed versus Prime would always end in an Ahmed bloodbath. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's what.
So and the last thing I would like to say is because I was talking to Prime a few days ago. I didn't know this. So he's actually on 40K a week in Fulham, and even if he raises his weekly wage to 70 or 80, that's about as much as what Chalobah is earning anyways. So it makes sense that if we do, sorry, yeah.
Chalobah, yeah, I did my stream on this on my my Twitch. Ladimus Prime, check it out. Also, Ahmed, like, let's not. You're Somalian. Let's not do this, bro. I beg. Let's not do this. You don't recognize us.
Let's do this.
Ain't got the minerals, man. Ain't gonna do it.
He ain't got the minerals, man. You know, he knows the Somali man, man. We're legends, man. The streets know about us, man.
Okay. Yeah, the streets know about you, but you don't win anything. Anyways, yeah.
Neither do you.
Anyways, Prime, yeah, you were saying with regards to Tosin. Yeah.
Tosin's on like 44K, and Chalobah's on like something like 77. So like, yeah, you're right, Curry P. The money we'll get for a Chalobah transfer, plus we're not buying Tosin. He's on a free. His wages, even if it goes up to like say 77 or even 100K, which I think is what he's going to be getting at Chelsea, 100K, that still makes the transfer worth it, to be fair.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I don't rate him as highly as everyone else does. I think he's a backup level centre back, but there clearly is talent there. So let's see what he can develop into.
Listen, why is everyone trying to say Ahmed? Be careful. Listen, I'm a striker, man. I'm a striker. You know what I mean? I'm more efficient than everyone at Chelsea at finishing. Believe me, mate. Believe me, mate.
Wait, so
Believe me, mate.
You're Ahmed's a striker.
Wait, he's a striker who said that Sorloth got 20 goals last season. Who's another striker?
Yeah, he got 20 goals in all competition. He got 20 goals in all competition.
No, you were saying in the league, though. You were saying in the league when we were watching the stream. Don't wiggle your way out of the stuff.
Goals in all competition. That's what I said. You know what I mean? Maybe I might, that.
So Somalia's strike partnership is Ahmed and Chunks. No wonder you don't play in Africa.
It wouldn't be even. Actually, wouldn't be me.
Should I say Sorloth didn't get 20 goals all competition? He got 16.
It'll probably be AJ. It'll probably be AJ Shabil. Actually, it'll be me and AJ Shabil probably up front. I actually be honest. I was actually thinking about this, man. I'm actually thinking about it right now. Probably be me and AJ Shabil up front. Damn. It'd be cooking, man. It'd be cooking. You see that, man?
Oliver, did you want to add anything on Tosin's, my friend?
Not really. I don't really know a lot about him. Don't really watch a lot of Fulham. All I'm going to say is, like, you know, people. I see people clowning on this transfer. People comparing it to like other opportunity signings that we've maybe made under Marina, where we stick them on a big wage. This definitely isn't that. Like, this isn't a situation where we're picking up someone on a free, putting them on big money, and then they're never going to play for the club ever again. Now, this guy's going to be in the squad. He seems like a decent player, so I have no problem with it. I like these kind of signings.
I like that he's free. That's another one too. So yeah. I mean, let's see where this goes. I mean, I don't know much about him outside of that comp we just witnessed.
And he's familiar with the league. That's the important thing. Like, unlike Malang Sarr, who came from Portugal, right? Like, he's very familiar with the league for years. He's grown up here. And he also, like, a little added where, you know, he's a Chelsea fan, so there's added motive to do well for the team in an extra sense, right? Like, I'm not saying that's the only reason, but that does give a bit of extra motivation for the guy. He's like, now I'm playing for the team I always, you know, liked and favored.
That was pretty funny watching his tweets about Hazard breaking Zavaletta's ankles, man.
Yeah, while being in the Man City Youth Academy, that's the funny.
Yeah, that was cinema, man.
Also, sorry, last thing I'd like to say, because I love dunking on Ahmed. Sorloth had 16 goals in all comps last season, but you know, it's not like Google's here.
You know what's
it's not
crazy?
like Google is this,
you know
but
what's
you know
crazy?
what?
All the other guys, all of these guys that everyone wants to just dunk on me or mention, they're not better than him. So why do I care? I know Sorloth is clear of all the guys you all mentioned. So if he comes to the Premier League, he's scoring more goals than them.
So Ahmed's saying that he's clear of Lautaro Martinez. Just
Yes,
No,
he
he's
is.
the one. No,
He's
no, he's
clear of Lautaro Martinez.
no.
He's
The funny
clear
thing is,
of Lautaro
he's a
Martinez.
one-season wonder. He's a one-season wonder.
Stinky takes
But
in the chat.
No, it's
Stinky
not.
takes in the
He's
chat,
clear
members.
of Lautaro Martinez. He's clear of
Send those
Sesko.
emojis.
He's clear of Osimhen. I'm telling you, bro. I know that already. You know what I mean? I know. That's what I have to say.
You got the emojis, use them. Stinky take in the chat.
Sensational.
Hey,
Sensational take.
Curry P. See, this is why, like, Curry P is African as well. This is why us Africans don't take Ahmed seriously.
Don't take me seriously, man. Don't take me seriously because I know, yeah, when you don't take me seriously, that's when I'm the best. That's when I'm the greatest. You know what I mean? Listen, do you know when you don't take no one seriously? That's what I'm saying. Delo, listen, all hating on Delo. But listen, Delo, yeah, when he's cooking in the Euros, I'll be quiet. I'll be silent.
Hello,
Euros.
You know what I mean? All I'm gonna say, yeah. Listen, this is my final comment on the situation. You know what I mean? There's a meme that I love to use, yeah. Just sit back and observe. Not everything needs a reaction. Keep hating.
Oh my god,
Guys, Chelsea fans, Ahmed wants to sell Reece James to replace him with Talon. Nothing else.
Ahmed, do you think you're him, bro? Let's just stop.
There's too much I'm him.
Ahmed, you're not Homelander, man. You're not Homelander. Oh, actually, let me not get started on that. Actually, you've already ruined that show.
Don't forget Barcola, guys. Don't forget Barcola. R.I.P. to Barcola, man.
Bring Barcola to the club. Bring back. We're cussing out young G's, yeah, who scored the same goal as the people's guys Mudryk. Don't worry, man. Keep cooking. Don't worry, man.
Let's move on to who Tosin will potentially replace, or who's actually Tosin's kind of replacing. Well, okay, let's continue here. So Chalobah. Now it seems that since we signed Tosin, Chalobah's exit seems to be more and more imminent than it was before. So let's read up some tweets on this situation that I have here for you guys. Trevor Chalobah remains for sale despite his recent form. As I've continued to report, he is seen as a pure profit asset and the club are keen to make the most of that. This was reported in May, right? Earlier May. Then we have here Manchester United are considering a move for Chelsea's Trevor Chalobah. Chelsea are willing to sell Chalobah to meet pure profit and sustainability rules by June 30th. They want a transfer fee of around £25 million. And we have here from the United stand, who I believe has sources linked to United. The United stand understands that contact has been made between Trevor Chalobah's agents and the club. This is thought to be keen through, though discussions are not advanced. With the company, the new Bayern manager is also showing interest in the player. Chalobah prefers to stay in England, but Chelsea are looking to offload him, and it is understood he is not valued by the Chelsea board. Pochettino and Tuchel, who are both linked with United job if Ten Hag is sacked, are both big fans of the player, which he's not wrong about. So we continue on. Man United are tracking Trevor Chalobah, but may not meet Chelsea's £25 million valuation of the center back. Chelsea will listen to offers for Chalobah, and he is in high demand. And then lastly here, Chelsea getting Tosin ADARABIOYO means Trevor Chalobah will be sold, according to I am Ramen Osman. So I think that if we were to sell him to United for 25 mil, I think they're getting a bargain. I genuinely think that this player is actually worth 40 mil, at least. I think he's a good defender. He's proven me wrong this season. I thought that he had a lot of mistakes in him, but I think he's... Obviously, he still has mistakes in him from time to time, but I think he's hashed himself out a lot more. And I think his flexibility across the defensive line is something that we shouldn't just, overlook as well. But go ahead, guys. Your thoughts?
If he goes to United, he's their second best centre back.
Damn.
I'm being serious because Varane's just left. So who else you got? You got Maguire. You have Lindelof. The only guy that's better than him is probably Lisandro Martinez.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna say United said 25 million's too much. I think we should raise it to 30 million just to fill out a comment, man. Like that's disrespecting, man. Saying what is 20 million or less. I agree with you, Marshall. I don't think he's worth less. He shouldn't be worth less than 30 million. It should be 30 and higher.
Realistically, he's a £40 million, £45 million centre back. Really?
That's what I think.
And he can play right back well. say Delot leaves, like Ahmed says, he can actually slot into right back as well. So that'd be good for United as well. Like he's actually a good centre back. He's talented. He's good on the ball. We've seen that. He's good at defending. This season he's played pretty well defensively, like tackling, intercepting, and all that. So I don't want to lose him, but like we're getting this new centre back for free, so Chalobah could be on his way out. But we should actually try to get 30 million higher. 25 million is too low. How many years he's got left? 6 years.
That's what's really bugging me out right now.
That's actually really
how are
good
we
point.
not trying to maximize the value?
It's crazy.
You got a fucking large contract to buy out. Why isn't it worth more? The evaluation.
At least 30. 25 is way too little.
Have you not ever thought that maybe he's not rated that highly for a backup level center?
Yeah, actually, Prime, you go for it because you talked about this a day ago. So talk about this. I agree with your opinion. Actually,
he is I like Chalobah. He's good, but like he is a backup level center back. He's a good squad player to have in like a top team, like a title winning team, where he can play. He can come fill in at center back in a 2. He can play in a 3. He can play right back as cover if needs be. Like if your starting level right back is like Reece James, he can play in midfield as a DM. That he's done that before at Lorient. Like he's a good squad filler to have. However, Chalobah is not good enough to be starting in a top team. If Man United get him, fair enough. But if they want to get back to being the best team in the league, the best team in the world, he's not going to be a starter for them.
So real quick, before we continue on this discussion, we just got rated by Sarcasm City. So big up to you guys. Big up Sarcasm City. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate y'all. If you just joined in, be sure to smash those like button, right? Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe because we're on our way to 3K. But also, for those of you who came from Sarcasm City, I'm assuming there's a good amount of you who are United fans. Let me know in the comments section or in the chat, would you take Chalobah to your club for 25 mil? Let me know in the comments. But I think Prime, you were continuing on.
Yeah,
sorry.
Again, as a backup level centre back, of course United fans would. But if United ended the window and you are telling them he is the only centre back they are signing to replace Rafael Varane and he will be their starter, they would lose their minds because Chalobah is not on that level. Let's just be. He does not start for like an Arsenal type team or who are challenging for the league. He doesn't start for Man City. He doesn't start for like a team like Bayern Leverkusen just won the league. He wouldn't start for them. He wouldn't start for like a Real Madrid type. He wouldn't start for Inter Milan. He wouldn't start for teams actively challenging to win the league in the major leagues I'm talking about. And that's not disrespect to Chalobah, but just knowing what his level is. I know, but if United want to get back to being that team, United buying him is fine as squad filler, but in a couple of years' time, in 2-3 years' time, he won't be there as a starter. And if he is there as a starter, then Man United, like they'll still be a 4th, 5th place type team in the league. If he's a starting centre back at Man United in 2 years' time or in 3 years' time, that means they're not going to be challenging for the league. Let's just be real.
Do you remember last summer I said to you about Chalobah, Marshall, in preseason? Do you remember?
You say a lot of things, but go ahead. What did you say? Remind us.
I think it was the Brian game actually that I said the same. But like I said that I just don't see him being like a leader in the back line, centre back, if that makes sense. Chalobah. I've always said that before. And that's probably what he would have had to have been with us, by the way. Right? And the reality is, I think he's a solid guy in a partnership if you have a guy that's going to be the leader there. Right? That's going to be a bit more like of the commander, right? He's a good guy who's also able to be a backup option for you in case you lose both your right backs. And he's around the ball. But the guys that we have right now, you want to give them more game time. And I feel like he might also be in the way of that, if we're being honest too.
Well, on the right-hand side, do you want to give Disassi more game time than Chalobah?
I'll be honest, yes. I feel like it's unfair. I feel like I personally feel like at Chelsea, we're being a bit too unfair on Disassi. You know?
Hold on. I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. But I feel like we're overlooking one huge factor. If fit, and especially for the price that we got him in, Wesley Fofana starts at that right back position.
You mean right center back?
Yeah, right center back.
But again, bro, like the key word is one fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I know you said it, but that's the why I'm saying it's like the key word, because I think for me, this is just my opinion. I feel like he's just broken goods at this point. So as such, for me, I want to be. Listen, we brought in Disasi. You got to try to make him work, and like I feel like for me, it's a bit unfair. I feel like as well, it's very, very unfair on Disasi, particularly with how bad of all of our defenders have looked here under Pochettino. Yeah, to be cussing him out, particularly when he's had to do right back duty. By the way, he's had to do. He's actually had to suffer, unironically, under the weight of the stuff that he's had to do for the team. Honestly,
and Chalobah came in when we had the inverted system.
Mm-hmm. And I think for me also, one thing you need to realize, Disasi was always meant to be our backup. By the way, he's just meant to be there as a backup. That's one of the reasons why we actually brought him. By the way, to be a solid backup cover for both the right back and the right centre back position.
Well, that must mean that Tosin's going to be a starter then.
I agree. Yeah, I believe so. I think so. More than likely that Tosin's going to be a starter for us.
Marshall, here's the thing. But I have got a problem with Chelsea's defenders. A massive, don't have. In theory, we don't have a starting two that we can really rely on. Fofana is meant to be a guy, but he's Reece James level. We don't know whether our left centre back is Colwell or Badiashile. Disasi, I think he's the worst out of the lot. I would have kept Chalobah because he is better than Disasi. Tosin comes in, which is fair enough, but again, I don't think he's good enough to be a starting level centre back to where we're trying to get to. So I just look at our centre backs as being, as a collective, a bit of a mess.
We're gonna see what happens. I think it's fair for me to say this, right? I think next season will be a true test to see how good our center backs are going to be, right? Whether it be Disasi, Badiashile, Fofana, so on and so forth. Especially for Fofana, I think next season all eyes are on Fofana. Because if Fofana cannot stay fit for at least 80% of the next season,
and Reece James,
so.
I'm just going to tell you, they've got the first 5 games. They've got their first 5 games. If they cannot play 90 minutes of their first 5 games, get them out of the football club, bro.
Because they could be fit and play for first 5 games, and then they're injured the next remaining games. Then your theory gets debunked there. But
again, the reason why I say what's 90 times 5 is 400 minutes. If you cannot play consistently for 400 minutes, afterwards we will see. But first 5 games is that's tough, Particularly just coming to peak fitness too. Mm-hmm.
Our first 5 games of the season, Reece is going to be missing for 3. So
no. I said their first 5 games. Their first 5 games. That's why I clarified.
Right.
Yeah. Their first 5 games, bro, in a row. They have to be fit. And a keyword.
With the point that Marshall made about the centre backs being tested, I agree as well, because on paper, Maresca's team should be way more compact and organised than Poch's team. So. There shouldn't be periods in the game where they get more exposed, if you get what I mean. So I'm not saying there will be times where we're more disrupted, like in transition, etc. But overall, there should be less times where there's issues that are not their fault, if you get what I mean, especially in a more compact team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're going to see what happens. I think the system definitely is going to benefit our center backs. And if they're good next season, then we can have a whole different discussion. But I think I'm solely right on the Disasi point. I don't like how unfairly Disasi's been judged this season. And even then, I don't think he gets enough credit for what he was able to do, considering the circumstances he was playing under. So let's come back to this next in the middle of the season as well, with the whole center back discussion, and especially with Fofana. I think that one's going to be one that I'm really going to keep my eyes open on, because I want to see if this player is stops being injury prone, and if he's actually worth the price we bought him for. But let's continue on to the next topic of discussion, which is someone we haven't spoken about in quite a bit of time now, and potentially could actually be leaving the club, and that's Omari Hutchinson. So let's bring up some tweets here on Hutchinson's situation. Ipswich Town and Stuttgart are interested in signing Chelsea forward Omari Hutchinson. We move on. Ipswich Town are interested in signing Omari Hutchinson. They are interested in signing him on either a loan or permanent deal, with Stuttgart also being interested. Hutchinson was also a guest at Stuttgart's final home game against Borussia Mönchengladbach on Saturday. The German club have secured qualification for next season's Champions League. We continue on. Chelsea have exercised an option to extend Hutchinson's contract at Stamford Bridge to 2026. It gives them leverage to deciding how they handle the youngster's future as they seek to appoint Leicester City's Enzo Maresca as their new boss, which we now know has happened. We continue on. Ben Jacobs also reporting here. Same thing, contract until 2026 for Hutchinson. Ipswich desperate to keep Hutchinson, who is open to returning. Ipswich prefer a performance to any move, but CFC looking for around £25 million. Loan with an obligation if Ipswich stay is one formula that's been discussed. Stuttgart also pushing to sign Hutchinson. What do we think about this, ladies and gents? Do we want to keep Hutchinson, or are we satisfied with selling him for pure profit?
Pure profit, yes.
I really like Omari Hutchinson, but I've accepted that he's just going to be for profit. So
Sell him for getting someone in the same age as him, and Olise especially. No, where if we can sell him for 25 and Olise's release clause is 60 million, yeah, I'm paying basically for half of Olise with Hutchinson, yes, in a heartbeat.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that. We will come on to Olise as well. Pause. We'll talk about Olise very shortly. Anyone else have an opinion on Hutchinson?
I think if
Does
you
anyone,
can,
does anyone want to keep?
Go
Go ahead, Oliver. Go ahead.
I don't want to keep him. I kind of do. I kind of don't. I want to loan him basically. So he doesn't leave on a permanent, but he's still out. I think if we manage to somehow get him on a dry loan for the year, I reckon his value will balloon, and then we'll just an even more valuable asset on our books. Because kind of like Will, I've accepted the fact we're going to sell him. So at this point, I'm just looking at ways to maximize his value. So say we managed to send him on a dry loan to Stuttgart, him playing well, we hope in a top 5 European league, his value will be so much higher than it already is, and then you're selling him for even more. So I think that's what makes the most sense for me. But either way, I've accepted that he's going to go either way, whether it be this summer or in the future.
All right, cool. I think that was a quick one. I don't really have much to say on Hutchinson. I think if he turns out to be good, then good for us. If we can sell him, then also good for us. I think we have pure profit because, again, we got him on a free from Arsenal's academy. They didn't want to re-sign him. So let's see what happens with him.
They did want to re-sign him, and he told them to piss off and joined us.
That is true. That is true. So, Arsenal, you can hold that. Another L on your CV there, Arsenal. But let's go on to another interesting predicament that's going on with Chelsea, and that's the winger situation with Summerville, which you guys may remember from Leicester. Or no, Leicester. I'm sorry, Leeds. We played against them when we played Leeds, and he was quite a standout player. But let's actually talk about the links here. So, Chelsea are among Premier League clubs circling Leeds for Crescencio Summerville. He is expected to cost around £30 million, according to Mike McGrath. Summerville, 22, was top scorer for Daniel Farke's team last season with 19 goals in the championship, which is pretty impressive for I believe he's a left winger, which is good to see. We continue on. Chelsea and Liverpool likely to make more serious moves for Crescencio Summerville in coming weeks. We continue on here. Exclusive. Chelsea are advancing in talks with Leeds United to sign Dutch talented winger Crescencio Summerville in a £30 million fee add-on included. Not done deal yet, but understand CFC believes a deal can be struck after optimistic talks tonight. This is coming from the 28th, so this is a while ago. 5-year contract with no option. I don't know where I got this from, but whatever. It's here. What do we think about Summerville? Is that someone that you guys would be interested in, especially in the left wing area, which we do need to bolster?
He's pretty good. I think he's a pretty good footballer. I just don't know if that's where the priority would be as of now, or even if we were going to find a left winger. I don't really know what other options are on the left wing market, but he wouldn't be necessarily the number one choice I'd go to, but 30 million is a bargain, I think. I think whoever gets him will get a very good player. I can see him going Liverpool, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
It's Diaz.
Yeah, Diaz has been linked away anyway, hasn't he? I'm not saying he's definitely going to leave, but for 30 million, he could be a player that rotates in that Liverpool team. And also, I think he's from Feyenoord's academy. I might be wrong, so please correct me if I am. But I don't know. I think it would make sense for Liverpool to sign another winger because I think they need depth in that attack, especially on that left-hand side. With a lot of the players they have are quite inconsistent and or injury prone. So you've got players like Diaz, whose output's very inconsistent. Jota, I know, is more of a central player, but very injury prone. Nunes is just Nunes. Salah is obviously declining. They could do with another attacker, to be honest.
No, fair enough. Anyone else want to throw in their 2 cents on Summerville? Because I'll be fair, I don't know much about him either. I just know he played us against Leeds. He looked dangerous. I got to look more into Summerville.
Target as well, because he was linked to us even last year as a prospect.
Was he really?
Yeah, I remember.
Wasn't it Dewsbury Hall that we were linked with? I don't remember Summerville.
I remember Summerville being linked because as a prospect signing, yeah. Because he would have been even cheaper than this, and because he was more unknown, so...
Chris, did you want to add anything to this?
Where's he play?
Left wing, if you were paying attention for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, but in all fairness, he's got a good chance starting in his left wing at Chelsea, man. Because I don't rate any of the left wing.
Chris, he's a left
back. Left back. That's great, man. But in all fairness, he has a good chance actually starting in Chelsea's left wing because our left wing is terrible. Mudryk, who else is our left winger? Sterling, and
Joe Cole is still at Chelsea, by the way, Chris.
Pardon?
Joe Cole is still at Chelsea.
Oh, okay.
I'm messing with you since you don't know anything about football.
Yeah, I know.
I need to add a burn button.
That's one of the issue. Surely
there's actually someone who says burn a lot. Actually, I can tell you, Marshall.
I know. Well, it's an issue for me. What Chris doesn't know about football either. But
surely, Summerville
tell us all about this wonderful left winger, man.
No, don't.
Surely Summerville would be better off going to a West Ham or a Crystal Palace. Surely that would be the next step. Because although he played a handful of games, maybe more in the Premier League, obviously last year was his breakout season. So you'd think going from the Championship, you wouldn't want to rush a move. So it is interesting. I think he would be better off going to a West Ham or a Palace, especially a Palace losing players potentially in the summer. But yeah, I don't really mind. I'm not going to say no to him for how much he is.
Sure. Before we move on to the next big meats and potatoes part of this show, which we're closing in on the end of the show, by the way, guys, but stick around. We still have plenty of awesome news to discuss. There's over 200 of you guys watching the show right now. I'm going to set a goal. If I can get this show to 100 likes, I would greatly appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. That's all I'm going to say. I thought I had more. I couldn't think of anything. If you get 100 likes, there's 200 of you, 50% of you can smash that like button to get us to 100. I think that's very doable. I think that's as doable as this next target we're going to be discussing. But
100 likes, and we'll launch the Prime v Ahmed show.
Nah, I'll go on further. We'll set up a boxing match. We'll set up a boxing match between Armin and Prime.
Boxing match and Team Prime.
That would be unfair to Prime. I actually have actual experience in boxing.
Oh, of course he does. I'll back Prime. Don't worry, Prime. I'll back you.
No, I'm actually being serious. Though I actually used to train to be boxing for secondary school.
In secondary school, bro. How old are you now? Who gives a shit?
What do you mean? That's why I'm like, bro. I was doing that since I was from 11 to 18. So what? I'm
This is
25.
why we're a fucking elite channel.
Fucking elite club, bro.
You guys, so that you can get the Ahmed and Prime boxing match.
I don't
Prime will be on Casually.
You know what we need to do? You know what we need to do? Me and Prime will do a FIFA match. Me and Prime will do either a FIFA match.
Any someone decent at FIFA, you got.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? We mentioned Ahmed and Prime having a boxing match and we lost 20 viewers.
Hey.
They're like, I get the ass.
Not this YouTube boxing nonsense again.
Sorry, Marshall.
I don't fight. I don't fight. I have a rule. No hitting women, no hitting children.
That's funny. That's funny. We should do a FIFA game between me and Ahmed, and I'll get drunk. You know, Chris knows. You know.
All right then I'll crush it on you.
Hey, Ahmed, Will's a child. Why do you want to crash children?
I don't care. Women, children, men, women.
Let's get it right.
Hey, Ahmed, you lost 6-1 to me when I was drunk, man. Let's stop.
Listen, I will crush it on any single human being. I don't care if it's in FIFA, in checkers, in chess, whatever it is. I will eventually crash it on you.
It'll just take you 10 attempts.
Hey, man, you can keep hating, but I'll keep shining.
Okay. Let's actually move on to the next topic I have for you guys. Speaking of crashing in on players, man, let's talk about this guy crashing in on the right wing or in the number 10 position. I'm excited about this. I hope it happens. Let's talk about Mr. Frenchman Michael Olise, my man. All right, let's actually get into the nitty gritty here. So, Michael Olise has the links have been getting stronger and stronger for him to come to Chelsea, and I'm all for it. So let's see here. Chelsea still really appreciate Michael Olise. They are involved in this story with Man United. Next week, we'll return to it. Chelsea have also been monitoring Crescencio Summerville, who is expected to change clubs. Another one to watch according to Fabrizio Romano. You continue on here. Chelsea gaining confidence they can beat Manchester United to signing Michael Olise. Then we have here Scoop. Manchester United fear they could miss out on prime transfer target Michael Olise, with Chelsea growing increasingly confident of securing Crystal Palace star's signature. Chelsea's confidence largely stems from recently appointed Director of Recruitment Joe Shields' long-standing connection to the Frenchman. The recruitment specialist was responsible for bringing Olise to Manchester City at a young age and has maintained a close relationship with the winger ever since, a potential determining factor in Olise's eventual transfer destination this summer. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Shields, Agent Joe Shields behind this one. We continue on. Crystal Palace are braced for offers for Michael Olise, with Chelsea, Newcastle pushing for the French U21 international, while also has interest from Man United. And I think that's it for Mr. Michael Olise here, but I'm excited for this one. I know that we have Cole Palmer. Listen, I know we have Cole Palmer. I know we have Madueke, but sorry, Ahmed. If Madueke needs to go to make room for Michael Olise, so be it. Bring me Michael Olise. Minerals. Fucking minerals. Let's do it.
I know that ain't who I think it is. Who was the guy that was hyping Olise over every single person here before last season? Who was saying bring him to the bridge before even Cole Palmer?
Yes.
Come on. Let's not do this. Let's not do this, bro.
Ahmed's right. Ahmed's the one who single-handedly found Olise from the mud. You're right, Ahmed.
Very hard to find him, yeah.
You know what's funny?
Listen.
Yeah? You know what's funny? I can't name one person I've spoken to about football that wouldn't have taken Olise last summer. I've not spoken to one person. I'm not spoken to one person.
No. There were people that were saying he's injury prone. There were people that were saying
a little bit, but I don't.
Wait, guys.
big injury last season. That's it.
He told us about Olise more than Cole Palmer because, guys, we all knew the generational talent that Cole Palmer was the second we bought him, right? Every one of us was like, "Yay,
I did.
okay, Cole, we got Cole Palmer." No, I know, but I'm saying everyone. But I'm saying everyone. Like it's a universal thing.
Listen,
We bought him for 45 million.
As I've said before, I've always been a big fan of Olise, even before my.
I've also been a big fan of Kylian Mbappe when he was 16. Thanks for pointing out obvious things once again.
What's your problem, man? I don't know what your problem is, bro. All the time here, I'm just trying to make a point. You just come and fucking questioning me. Like, can you shut up for once in your life, bro? Like, it's kind of getting irritating, bro, man. I'm not even joking, man. Seriously.
Yeah, because
like you weren't here when I was talking about Olise. Were you last year? Were you here last year? So if you
yes, I was.
Here last
yes,
year,
I was.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't. You weren't.
Yes,
here
I was listening to this channel. You can't tell me when I was checking out this channel or not. You can't tell me. You can't tell me when I was listening to this channel.
You are not. You are not, bro. Honestly.
How do you know? How do you know?
Just get a life, man. Honestly.
The only reason I brought it up, comma. The only reason I brought it up is because I know, Ahmed, you back Nani Madueke a lot.
Of course I do.
And if this guy were to come in, I think that highly jeopardizes Madueke. So I'm asking you, in a sense, would you rather keep Madueke or would you rather get this guy?
I don't think you need to sell Madueke this season. I've maintained that actually.
Well, we can't have three wingers.
I think the reason why the what?
Three right wingers.
Okay, I thought he said
right. He's
what you thought?
three wingers.
Nothing. Let's move on quickly. You know what I mean? I don't want to get cooked. But no, on a serious note,
three white wingers.
I think for me,
we don't have three white wingers.
It's about I think for me again, you look at all three of them, right? I think again, you have Madueke and Olise. I feel like that again can have playing that 10 role, technically speaking, and on the right wing, right in that system. And you can also have Madueke there as a backup to whoever's going to be the starting right back, in my personal opinion. That's all it is, bro. Like again, Madueke again would fit in his Thingy's system in the sense that he likes, from what I've heard, he likes 1v1 guys, right? Madueke is a 1v1 guy. You can have that option off the bench for you. You can have Olise start. You can even have a Palmer start in that 10 role if you're of the belief that you're not going to get a left winger and you might miss out on a guy like what's his name again? I just lost his name. Summerville. You can have Nkuku play on the left for you. And then you can have Jackson play up front for you. So again, there's options there where you can have all three stay essentially.
The only issue I have with Olise joining, and it's actually not Madueke, it's more the fact that we've just spending 50 odd million on Esteval, and Paez is going to come into the squad in the next year and a bit as well. So I don't see why, unless they have this master plan of Esteval being a natural 1v1 right winger, they can hold the byline. Then again, we don't know how Maresca is going to set up either. So he might change his system to how we've seen on paper and analysis and at Leicester. So right now, I don't really know how we fit all this talent in. And I know you're going to all say we're going to have to sell a couple of players, but I just don't. We've just spent 50 million on Esteval. And he's going to be a part of the first team apparently. So
you know what it is though, Will? I think how old is Esteval and how old is Paez? 18 years old, right? I think for them
might be younger actually. I don't know actually.
Yeah, but they're both going to come to the football club. But again, they're both going to come to the football club at the age of 18, right? So for me, more than you can have all three of these guys initially this season. I then think next summer, if Madueke does somewhat bang, you can now sell him for probably a profit, in my personal opinion, to whoever club wants him. You then will have Olise and Palmer there, plus the other two gentlemen. But the other two gentlemen are not going to start straight away. They're going to be given time. They're going to be slowly going into the team, as they do with any other squad in general. I'm pretty sure you guys would agree.
I do get that, to be fair, but it's just, I'm not going to go against Olise's quality. Yeah. I've been a big fan of him since he first debuted in the Premier League for Palace when he signed from Reading. No doubts about this guy's ability. He's what it is? I always say sometimes, particularly with what we've got right now, competition is great. You know what I mean? You can allow them to compete. It is great, but for a season. The only problem is... oh my God, I can't keep right. The only problem I have is that I feel like whenever we say competition is great, as in we're actually looking to have competition, I feel like it always goes wrong. Do you get what I mean by that?
Yeah,
But when
I
we,
just
build all
think
these when we build all these combined squads and these concept squads and 11s, and we're trying to all fit these players in, it never seems to go the way we've planned. So,
but again, I think there's a lot of EPL games to play. You know, I think also this season you're probably going to expect Palmer to be doubled up on more, having another option as Olise who can probably start the game for you.
Hey yo,
in a different position. Again, I don't necessarily think they both have to start together. There's a way for that to happen, but you know, it's a good headache for the manager at the end of the day. It's a good headache for the manager to be able to find,
But
you know,
let me ask you, I think to an extent, I think you're right, but also, don't you think someone like Madueke, who just got so much starting time towards the end of the Pochettino tenure, and we already heard that there are players that are still upset that Pochettino left, right? Don't you think that someone like Madueke is going to be discouraged by Michael Olise coming in and will be wanting to somehow get himself out of the club if he doesn't get enough play time?
Listen, that's why I said he probably will stay another season. I think for me personally, again, he can probably stay for another season at the football club. I've maintained that, bro, because I'm pretty sure everyone here believes, if you were to rank, you know, the three guys right now, Palmer, Olise, Madueke, Palmer's coming last. Like, let's be honest, right? Sorry, Madueke is coming last, right? Madueke is going to be Yeah. You know what I'm saying, boys? Like, Madueke honestly is going to be coming last.
although Ahmed, if we
why would he?
I'm listening.
If we sign Olise, he has got to play in his preferred position. He's got to play in a role where I don't want to be putting him out in roles that you're not going to get the best Olise, because this is going to be our marquee signing. We've seen,
of course, bro.
Strategy. We've seen the strategy. We're going to probably cut back on some signings when it comes to the fees we're going to pay, whether that's Jorgensen or Valles, or we signed Tosin, which I'm fine with. But that, if you're going to get the marquee players in like Olise, play them in the right position. If you're going to try and squeeze him in on the left, just sign Summerville. Honestly, just sign Summerville if you want a left winger and you're looking at those two options. Don't try and get the name for the sake of it. Olise is magnificent. I can't really say anything against him talent-wise. Really good player. But
Abdimas Prime. I'm agreeing with you, bro. I'm saying he's not going to start. But I feel like, again, Madueke can provide you different options. You got to have three different wingers. Some of them can even play left wing if necessary as well.
So Madueke can play the games
you know what I mean? Again, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I don't know why people are saying this is much of a problem.
We are in more competitions next season. So.
Yes. Listen, and like, I'll be honest, man. People talk about how our squad is big. Our squad is not that big, you know. If we actually look at the actual squad, like,
it's because we signed a bunch of 18-year-olds and stuff.
Yes, like that's why. Like, we don't have that many, you know, guys that really are, you know, stars. Does that make sense? We have guys that are potential, but like not proper stars.
Madueke can like, he can also play off the left.
Oh my!
Can he?
Jazz, listen, Jazz, yeah.
Like he's done that for England.
I went to Netherlands to get that deal done. I have to have stocks there, man.
Sorry?
Why?
I don't know.
1 second. I need to show something. Prime,
like Prime's batteries are dying or something.
No, I just stopped talking.
Oh.
I just stopped talking.
Yeah, you can hold that, Prime.
Okay.
Watch the games. Okay. Yeah, listen, I mean, I like Olise. If we get him, he starts left wing. Maybe we shift Palmer into the 10. Maybe we rotate Palmer. There must be a way to integrate both these players into the same team.
What do you mean rotate Palmer? Like just here and there game, I'm guessing.
No. Like every other game kind of thing.
Wait, why the hell would you want to rotate Palmer every other game?
Because if we get Olise.
Nah,
you don't need to. No. Again.
Palmer is our best player.
Whoa. Okay, listen. Let's.
Yes,
but we don't need to necessarily rotating these players, right? Again, it's just about how do you get them to fit? Who is necessary for each game? And that's the way you plan for it.
I agree with that.
Yeah, fuck Olise, man. Let's sign a left winger. Fuck Olise.
Chris,
I'm having let's rotate Palmer every.
Yeah,
are you going to comment? It's just to make you say this. What's happened?
I fucking triggered Chris.
Chris.
Well, Olise is a good player, Chris.
Yeah, but
I know
Palmer's
Olise is a
better.
good player, but I'm not rotating Cole Palmer. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Look at what this guy's done this season. We should be building around Cole Palmer, not to rotate around Cole Palmer.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, Marshall.
What? Are you actually? Wait, you was actually saying I was kind of like half and half.
I'm more of the camp
Dream last
of
season
I want to
what he
integrate them both into the team. But if we can only have them play left wing, I would like to see rotation. Because Olise, like, we're saying Olise's good, right? And Olise's doing this at Crystal Palace. Imagine what he could do if he were to come to Chelsea.
Has Olise ever played left wing?
I
wouldn't mind. People are saying yes. I would love to have Olise in the left wing.
For a guy that seems quite one-footed as well. Like, I'm not saying he's totally one-footed, but that's not. You're paying 65 million. Just play him in his position or don't sign him.
Well, do you know who has played left wing before? And Sean, Cole Palmer. Play him
Listen,
on the left.
I just want it to be
rather
known.
play Palmer.
Listen, I just want it to be known. The Madueke stocks are high because I was here, bro. I was there, bro. I was making deals happen on that street, making deals. Sadly, Ziyech didn't want to go there. You know, that bum somehow won the Galatasaray, won a trophy of Galatasaray. But you know, I mean, tomatoes.
Ahmed, you do know Madueke has never once played for Ajax.
I know, but I'm making the point. I was in and around the Netherlands.
Hey, Ahmed was the. Ahmed was.
I was making the point. I was in and around other clubs making deals happen, bro. I was in and around other clubs making deals happen, making phone calls happen. You know what I mean? That's how. You know what I mean? I had the juice, man. You know, I had that juice. You know what I mean? Agent Ahmed. You know what I mean?
You're responsible for Chelsea, you're saying?
Hey, listen, man. I might have to go to Selhurst Park myself, man. Do a little tour and try and get the Olise deal down.
Ahmed, we need you, Ahmed. We need you to go to Napoli because speaking of getting deals done, we need you.
I'm not going to Napoli.
Our boy Lukaku.
I'm going Germany. I'm going to the Belgian Cup in Germany to get this done, mate. You know what I mean? Hey, yo, man. Yo, I'm there.
Man. Let's discuss. So we have links, right? Antonio Conte, Napoli consider Romelu Lukaku a top target for this summer. His profile perfectly matches Conte's philosophy, according to Sasha Tavoleri. Then Conte wants Lukaku at Napoli as top target, and then Al Ahly is still one to keep an eye on for Romelu Lukaku, according to Ben Jacobs. So Ahmed, you got your pick, man. You can go to Saudi or you can go to Naples.
I'll be honest. I'm waiting to see with the when the PSG to Kvaratskhelia and the Kvaratskhelia deal from Napoli to PSG, which is most likely going to happens. Because then I think we'll start seeing what the wage budget is for Napoli. Because I think the current price that they've sent to I think PSG apparently was allegedly 120 million, if I'm not mistaken, because they upgraded off. All right. So if that happens, by the way, they've got a bit of a key. Now the question therein lies becomes: are they willing to activate the release clause, or are they going to do something similar to Chelsea, where they go slightly above the release clause and then they do like a deal, broking the free, so that they can save enough money for themselves? Does that make sense? So
man, it's an Italian club. They're going to go under the release.
So that's what I'm saying to you. So reality, wise, whatever happens with Napoli is going to be complicato. Does that make sense? Now, in regards to the Italian stuff, in regards to the Saudi stuff, Saudi they'll be able to do that, man. The Saudi stuff will be able to do it. And listen, you know what I mean? He's been working for Saudi for the past few months, you know what I mean? Oh, Saudi Arabia, great club, Saudi, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Amigo, you know, he's saying all that rubbish. So listen, we can get that deal done, we can get that deal over the line. Listen, I've got links in Saudi Arabia, I've got family that live in Saudi Arabia myself. I can get a little chat with them, speak to them about that, you know what I mean? We can get it done. I can get that one done for us over the line. I've got links in Saudi.
How much?
Ahmed, you've not got any deal done for Chelsea.
Listen, I've got a lot of deals done. I can make another one happen right now. Babe.
Which deals?
I got the Madueke deal done.
Shit. Who else?
I mean,
else?
I got the. You know what? Let me see. I got the Gusto
Armin
deal.
negotiated.
Gusto, I got.
You didn't
I,
get
I,
that. You
I negotiated the Gusto deal personally. You know what I mean? That's another one that I
Ahmed,
did. You know
Ahmed,
what I mean? While
you
I was.
also negotiated the Barcola deal to Chelsea, and that deal didn't pan out.
No, I didn't negotiate Barcola. Sadly, you know, the
No,
Barcola deal
Armin
wasn't
does the
negotiated by myself.
French deals, apart
So
from
why
the
have we
good
got
one.
Delot? Like, who you want?
The thing of Delo again, I would rather another option than Delo. Personally speaking, I feel like I want a guy that I know can compete with Gusto on like a top level, and I'm not sure.
Your boy can't compete with Gusto.
Ahmed defo wants some random French cunt that no one's ever heard of.
I've told you, bro. My left back option right now, Bradley Loco, man. You know what I mean?
Wait, Ahmed.
Left back.
Ahmed, have you heard of Amiti Cabernet?
No, I've not heard of him. I'm afraid.
The French youngster, you haven't heard of him, Amiti Cabernet?
No, because again, the way I usually watch these guys is via Rennes. Rennes is a great.
Bro, he plays for Rennes, no? Amiti Cabernet, you haven't heard of him?
No, I don't think I haven't heard of him. Again, listen, my scout knowledge is good, but it's not that good. Again,
you haven't heard of Amiti Cabernet?
No, I don't even think he started for us this season. Are you sure he started for us this season?
He plays for bro. He's in the Rennes. He's one of the best up and coming youngsters in France. He's in the Rennes academy. He's gonna come up.
Yeah, but he hasn't played for us yet. That's why. I haven't been mentioning.
Ahmed, he played like a few games off the bench this past season. You haven't heard of Amiti Cabernet?
No, maybe I can't remember him, bro. Honestly, if I did, again, maybe I need to see the guy's face. Sometimes if I see the guy's face, I might remember. But like the guy that I know of that's like really highly rated right now is the one that I know of that's really highly rated right now at Rennes. That's probably going to be going to actually Dortmund, Mönchengladbach, or actually even Munich apparently, is Desiree Doué.
Bro, Amiti Cabernet is rated higher than Doué.
Bro, again, you keep on mentioning a guy that's barely played for us. I've not seen him play. Why do you keep on saying this, bro?
Alfie, you're a fraud, man. How do you not know about? You say you watch the French league, you watch Friends, and you don't know about Amiti Cabernet.
I'm not understanding. Is this like a joke? Like, am I missing the joke? Like, is the joke flowing over my head?
I think he just wants you to say the fucking name.
I'm not gonna say it, bro.
No. He's a player that plays for Rennes, the academy. He's like one of the best youngsters coming through in France. Amiti Cabernet. You haven't heard of him. You say you watch Friends.
Ahmed Prime.
No.
I can't with you, man. You keep laughing, and I'm like, what are you actually doing, dude?
I'm laughing because it's embarrassing that you don't know who Amiti Cabernet is.
Oh my god, Ahmed is getting terrorized by Prime, man. Prime was the first one to find out.
We need to watch. This is some crazy like Hunger Games things going on here, bro. I do listen, ladies and gents. If we get this stream to 100 likes, I will set up the Ahmed versus Prime debate. Your topic of choosing, guys.
Ahmed, your scout network in France, man. You don't know who Amiti Cabernet is. I know who he is. Oh my god,
bro! You keep on saying this guy. I've literally typed his name in, and I can't even find him. So clearly, I don't know if he's lying or I don't know if he's even telling the truth. So
I don't know what he's trying to say, bro. I feel like it's one of those clickbait names.
Yeah, I feel like he's not legit, man. He's not legit, bro. He's not legit, bro. He's just probably trolling.
All I heard is a meaty, and I'm like, I don't want to see the rest of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what he doesn't.
I'm like, huh?
No,
Marshall, you got stressing, man.
Marshall, of course you're pronouncing his name wrong. You pronounce every name. It's not me.
That's all right.
Listen.
Yeah, listen.
Media. I don't know.
I think Prime is just doing some stuff.
The mental gymnastics happening right now. But at the end of the day, this Lukaku topic wasn't for nothing. It leads me to the next topic, which, Prime, I actually would like to hear what you have to say mostly on this, because you are the Osimhen whisperer. So let's bring it up. Osimhen to Chelsea, done, over, not happening. The saga has finalized. Let's discuss it. So we have here, and I wish I had time to get more links on this. I unfortunately did not get to it. Chelsea have spoken to agents of Victor Osimhen and Benjamin Sesko. This was earlier last month. And then we have here, Chelsea are not thought to be keen on paying Victor Osimhen's £113 million release clause. They are not thought to have progressed in long-term interest in him at this stage. Then we have here, Chelsea are not planning to go for Victor Osimhen as of now, according to Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea will sign a next striker this summer as new striker this summer as part of their next season plans. And we'll talk about which striker that's going to be after we talk about this Osimhen segment. But there was also more links saying that apparently from DiMarzio, I believe, from Osimhen's side of things, that apparently Osimhen and his agents rejected Chelsea because Chelsea didn't meet the demands. So I think the truth is in the middle. I think the guys got together. The wages were too much, plus the amount of the release clause was too much for Osimhen. Considering we haven't seen consistency in terms of the performance he had the season prior to this last one, I think there are doubts about what Osimhen can do coming to Chelsea, especially at the price point he's coming in at and the wages he's demanding. But, I mean, Prime, I think you have the most vested interest in this, as well as Curry. So I'd like to hear what you guys have to think about Osimhen and him just now this is happening.
Oh man, how do you not know a meaty cabinet?
Jesus Christ, talk about Osimhen.
Basically, he keeps saying stuff that doesn't exist, so let's move on, man.
Okay. Yeah. It makes sense.
You know what? One second. You know what? Yeah, just quickly. If Prime was serious, he would know about a guy called Laborde. Who's Laborde, Marshall? Who's Laborde, Prime?
I don't watch Rennes, but I know about him.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, then. Thank you very much. That's what I have to say. Thank you very much. No. He doesn't even play for us. He barely plays for us. That's another bench player that, as Prime would tell us. Martin Laborde. I said
I don't watch Rennes, by the way.
Thank you very much.
I said I don't watch Rennes, but I know about a meaty cabinet. But whatever.
Thank you very much.
Whatever, that's cool. That's cool. You're a fraud, Ahmed, but it's cool.
You're a fraud,
That's fine. Awesome. If you don't want to pay the wages, I guess, then I don't know. Fair enough. They just better have a good backup plan, because I still stand by he's the best striker out there, and just get him in. I still think we'll end up getting him in the summer. For me, just watch this space. I still think we'll end up getting him later on in the window.
Wow.
Because whether it's now or maybe next summer.
Do you think this is going to be like an Enzo situation?
I think this might be a bit of a transfer saga. I said this a couple of months back, or a few months back on Luce's channel. This Osimhen situation will be a transfer saga, quote unquote, for Chelsea. We'll still end up getting it, because it doesn't make sense that it's been strong links and we've been with him for so long, and then all of a sudden now we don't want him because of wages, when we knew how much we'd have to pay him all this time. We knew what it would cost all this time. Yes, we did. We all knew how much we had to pay.
Don't you think they wanted to try to negotiate them down, maybe, and we just couldn't make any progress on it?
For months on end?
Well, it looks like they only just started,
Yeah, that's a lie. That's a lie. There's been a negotiation for months, and only now, all of a sudden, they don't want to pay it when we already knew. Yeah, this is going to be a saga, and anyways, just watch this space, Chelsea fans. Just watch this space.
Curry, if you're there, what are your thoughts on this situation? Because I think you weren't a big fan of the price for Osimhen. I don't know if you're there, Curry, but we'd love to hear your side of these things.
I'll be there in a minute. Sorry.
Fair enough. By
the way, also before Curry comes back in, people are worried about the 100 mil price tag. I agree, he's not worth 100 mil. Nor is Enzo, nor is Caicedo, nor is Declan Rice. You pay the money for the player that you want. He's the best striker available out there for us. And Napoli also wants Lukaku, so there will be a deal that can get done there. whether it's like money plus Lukaku for a player and stuff. Like we saw, there were reports like a few weeks ago that it would cost 80 mil plus Lukaku plus a young player from Chelsea. And we've got a plethora of them. Conte's at Chelsea. Conte has worked with Lukaku before and it's worked out brilliantly. Conte's always wanted Lukaku for years and he got him at Inter and they won the title. Conte, Inter need money or Napoli need money because, as you guys will know, the Serie A doesn't really have money in there. And the only reason why we hire Conte is to win now. Conte signed a 3-year contract. So within the next 2-3 years, Napoli need to win the Serie A. Napoli need money. So they're going to sell Victor Osimhen and or Kvaratskhelia. And the only team really linked to Kvaratskhelia is PSG. And they are stupid enough to pay like 100 mil for him. So you add in, say, maybe 100 mil plus the 80 or so it would take to get Osimhen. They get Lukaku, plus they get a young player from Chelsea. Like, it doesn't really matter which young player because Conte won't play them anyway because it's Conte. Like, it'll be a brilliant deal for Napoli to do. It'll be a brilliant transfer window, like money-wise. So, again, I still think this deal will go through. I'm not that, like, worried or concerned. That's just my personal thoughts. But yeah, sorry, Curry P. He's not there.
Oh, Curry P's. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, so for me, it depends on who we get instead. If we get a Benjamin Sesko, I'm honestly fine with that.
Actually, okay, Curry, actually, hold on, because now that you mentioned that, let's actually talk about what we could potentially get over Victor Osimhen, which happens to actually be Benjamin Sesko, who is leading that charge. So let's actually discuss Benjamin Sesko a little bit. So earlier last week, we had this. It will be a busy summer at Chelsea, not completely crazy, but Chelsea will try to do smart things, including a goalkeeper, at least one center back, but it could be 2, also winger. Lastly, striker, keep an eye on Benjamin Sesko. Chelsea, Arsenal, United all want Benjamin Sesko. RB Leipzig is not giving up on trying to keep him. The player is available until the end of June for 65 million euros, and all parties involved want clarity before the Euros. Then we have here Chelsea and Arsenal have made the most concrete approaches to date for Benjamin Sesko. Sesko hasn't agreed to any club yet, and his release clause is £55 million, according to Ben Jacobs. Talk to me, Curry P. What do we think about Benjamin Sesko as an alternative for Osimhen if we don't get him?
I've heard different price points for his release clause between 45 million and 60, because like I've seen Arsenal fan channels say it's 45. I know that was the earlier clause, and then that he started scoring, so it went up to 60, but I'm still not sure what it is. But for either price point, I'm fine with it, because also if Osimhen is asking for 300 plus K a week, it doesn't make sense to me. It's not just our wage budget, the wage budget makes sense to me. And so, like, if it's 200 to 250, I get it. But if you're asking for 300K plus, because the new rules when it comes to PSR is going to be your total transfer cost with your wages. And if he's costing you 300K a week, what are we doing here then? Right? Like, that's the whole point of why we want to get rid of Lukaku and why we're hoping to get rid of Sterling. And that's why we have wages down with incentives. That's the whole point. Like, I know we have some exceptions, but they aren't blatant exceptions. I think Nkunku's on like 180K a week, not even ridiculous pricing. So he's like, you're getting Osimhen for almost double that wage bill. And if he's costing you between 100 to 130 million, I'm sorry, I can get a Sesko, Olise, I can easily get a new goalkeeper that we need. We're looking at maybe another center back. We're looking at another winger in Summerville. Like, that helps with my wage budget. Otherwise, if I'm getting Osimhen for 130, now I have to think about, okay, do I have to cheap on a goalkeeper that I might really like? Do I have to not get Olise now and maybe get Summerville when I really want Olise, because I have to pay 130 for Osimhen? Because they will want the release clause. Even if you put it whatever way you will, they could buy Lukaku for 40 mil from us, but they want on the books 130 mil on their books.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, that's the thing. Like, even if we do that, we could buy Osimhen for 130, but they'll buy Lukaku for 40. It's not going to be a 100 mil plus Lukaku situation. They want a certain amount of money on their books for their financial reasons.
8 mil, I said.
Oh no, hell no, they're not doing that. No. If you're telling me their release cost is 130, they're not going to accept 80 million. What are we doing here?
We've seen reports that they will. So
no, they haven't, because they shot it down. So how do we know they will?
Guys, I'll ask you a question. How do we know that Conte might not just like Osimhen and think, you know what, you can work for me? He didn't dare Costa before.
But Osimhen wants to leave.
That actually, guys, because how are we so sure that these? I feel okay. Osimhen might want to leave. He might be right on that, but like, I feel like part of these reports coming out on the whole Lukaku to Napoli thing is just kind of lazy reporting. I don't know how true it is. And
I want to also add this. Yeah, I'm gonna add this aspect to it. Like, let's think about it like this, right? Oh shit! I just lost. I literally lost my trailer thought. My apologies. I genuinely just lost it, man. Dang!
Marshall?
Yes.
Marshall, I get what you're saying, but I don't think it is lazy. It makes sense. Kind of like last transfer window when, links to Serie A, because it makes sense. Lukaku loves playing in Italy, has a great record, goal scoring record playing there. He's won a title there. He's won trophies there. It makes sense him going back there. He's worked brilliantly with Conte before in the past. Napoli will need a striker, assuming Osimhen leaves. Everything there just makes sense.
It makes sense also because Conte also wanted Lukaku when we had the Morata season. Like, he wanted Lukaku over Morata. That's the thing. He was like Lukaku.
I remember the point. Yeah, I remember the point.
Let Prime finish. Hold on to your point. Let Prime finish, and then we'll go on to your point.
No, I'm just keep saying I believe a deal will get done. Also, someone put in the comments. Fuck, where is it? Someone put in. Someone said it's easy. Okay, fine. Someone said something like you can say it's easy and lazy, but if the reports are also coming out, then what are we gonna do? Anyways, someone also said something like, Sky Shooter's comment at 10:40. Yeah, he said, "This is the last season Napoli can cash in on their one-season wonders. Osimhen and Cavardona. Last season, Osimhen was if Napoli actually want money and the most amount of money they can possibly get for the two of them, they would need to go this summer, because next season, if Napoli have another if they don't win anything and they finish third or fourth or whatever, there's no way they can command 100 million for Cavardona or Osimhen. This is the only summer where they can actually get the most amount of money possible for those two. So it makes sense getting rid of both. And also, Napoli need money. They need the money.
Ahmed, what was your point?
The point I was gonna make is that I feel like a lot of these players need to start realizing that you need to be putting in transfer values or release clauses that kind of make sense if for these bigger clubs to go after you with. For example, McAllister, I think he had a release clause in his contract for how much was it, guys? Was it 39 million? If I'm not mistaken.
35,
right? Yeah, something like that, right? Look at that. That's quite easy, cheap, and any big club.
Even Olise had 60.
Olise 60, 70 mil. You look at even Maatsen, for example, probably might be going to a big club too. 35 million. A lot of these teams, a lot of these players need to realize, we need to be putting in release clauses into our contract, particularly for a mid-table club. Even Kudus is a good example of this, by the way, where you're able to leave the club in a good way, in some level, in some way, shape, or form.
I think that's a really good point that you raise, because to a certain extent, I think there's two things to bring up with that. Either one, Osimhen doesn't really want to leave Napoli, or two, he has a horrible agent that put a ridiculous release clause for him.
Exactly, bro. Because you know who's a good example of that too? Caicedo is a good example of that. The guy that you have to spend 120, right? We paid for him, if I'm not mistaken,
115, something like that.
Something like that, right? Because he signed a new contract deal, it gave all the power back to the club, essentially, right? This is why,
Caicedo was upset about it.
Caicedo was upset about it. No, but Marshall, we had to pay so much because Liverpool matched our bid.
Yes,
but the starting price was still at 80 million. The starting price was still at 80 million.
Yeah. So again, this is why, by the way, I feel like
There's a
I
massive
understand
difference
football
between 80 million and 120. There's a massive difference.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand, but I think my point is though, Prime is that it's still a ridiculous price, even for a release clause.
Yeah, and I think for me personally, this is the point that I'm trying to make, which is that at the end of the day, these players need to smarten up. If you believe you're going to be a top player, you're going to go to a big club. You want to be able to make sure the big club can actually be able to attain you, right? Like otherwise, you're going to probably be stuck there, or they're going to have to pay over the odds for you. And like at times, over the odds fee is not great because when you come to this football club, the amount of pressure that's going to be on you is going to be insane, as you've seen multiple times before. And Jacob, your point about the Barca stuff is very great because the problem is the Barca one, they're just making sure that no one is able to buy them. It's just like it's like a gimmick for them. Barca is almost like a gimmick, by the way, because
because don't the Liga players have to have release clause?
Yeah,
anyway.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
So that's basically just saying, leave us alone.
Yeah. So essentially, it's a gimmick.
Joel's comment above that, one, Arsenal are not going to spend
They don't have the money.
100 million or so on them. And two, Man United, if what United fans tell us is true, and Ineos are this amazing thing that are going to be different from the Glazers, they're not going to be stupid enough to also spend 100 million.
I disagree with your Arsenal point, because if they can spend 100 million on Rice, they're chasing a title, they're doing great in Champions League, now they're gaining consistent money from top four. I think they can go at least for 100 million. They're willing to pay at least.
I disagree.
Yes.
They got
because it depends. Because it depends. Because if they get if Partey's staying, then Bruno G is gonna stay. I mean, Bruno G, they'll probably go for it. Then I get the point. But if Partey's staying, then
100 million for Declan Rice. First of all, at least I was surprised they even spent that amount because they haven't spent big money. They haven't
Yes, they did. They spent 70 on Pepe. They spent 70 on Pepe.
Yeah, and that was the last
2 seasons
time.
ago.
That wasn't 2 seasons ago.
3 seasons. I don't know. A couple of seasons.
It was a long time,
That was
bro.
4 seasons ago.
And even then, that was how many times have they spent big money? Not a lot. That's why I was shocked they spent 100 million for 1 and 2. They spent 100 million in a free race. They didn't it wasn't a bidding war for Declan Rice. City pulled out because they weren't willing to spend 100 mil.
But then that shows their ambition for winning the league. Does that not? It does. If they're doing things like that, so then why can't they do it again? They're 2 points away from winning the league. They're in Champions League. They were in a semi. They were in quarterfinal.
They don't need an Osimhen though.
If they think they do, then why wouldn't they?
But they're not linked to Osimhen. They're linked to Sesko.
No, they're linked with Osimhen as well.
Bro, yeah, but the links to Osimhen aren't real. The links to Osimhen aren't real for Arsenal. They're not.
How can we say that? Now we're saying.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Now we're just hoping.
Listen, I'm just gonna be honest. You know what? Yeah, this week is gonna be a good indicator, by the way, if the Osimhen stuff is legit or not. If the releasing stuff progresses to a great value, which I probably wouldn't expect to happen because he's basically available. He's not going anywhere. Right? They can probably get that done this week if they wanted to, and we get the goalkeeper who either we don't get him this week, but we'll probably progress in some level with Olise. We'll know if we're going to get him or not this week. We'll probably get the goalkeeper this week done, by the way. I actually believe the goalkeeper will get done this week, personally. So if those stuff happen, then I think for me the chances of Osimhen happening are decreased by like 50%, by the way.
You got to take into consideration a few things. The preseason coming up, and we got Euros and Copa America, which players aren't going to want to negotiate while they're in the tournaments.
That's why I'm saying to you this week.
That's
this week is going to be this week. By the way, is going to be very big. By the way, they're probably going to get Maresca done by tomorrow morning. He's announced. They're probably then going to start finishing off deals that they need to get that they want to get.
But Olise should be fine because he's not in the France squad. Olise is not in the France squad. That's a good thing. So we can do that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, him and the goalkeeper won't be in the France squad, but they probably want to get those progress as soon as possible.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, because that's what Southgate said with Gallagher, right? Because that's what Southgate said with Gallagher. It's like I don't want anything to do during the and that's what I'm saying. It's like now we're hoping for things. It's like we're saying Osimhen, the link for Osimhen with Arsenal doesn't count, but our link with Lukaku counts. And then our link with Osimhen counts.
Where's Sesko from?
Sesko's from Austria. No, Slovenia. Slovakia, Slovenia.
Are they playing in the Euros? I don't think.
Maybe. I don't know about that. Sorry.
I can check the Euro side quite quickly. Yeah.
I didn't say it doesn't count. I said like I don't believe.
You don't believe them, but then
because he doesn't suit them. He doesn't see how they play at all.
why? Well, we didn't think Holland suited Man City. They bought him. They can break their mold.
Oh, Slovenia is playing.
Why would Arteta break their mold?
Because Pep, who's his godfather, literally broke their mold. His mold.
Then he tried to play possession based football, and then he switched back to what he was doing before.
No, Curry, you're also wrong. Pep wasn't the one that wanted Holland.
Yes, but they got him, man. They won things with him.
Yes,
so
but
Arteta's his little baby, though.
You're saying Pep is a yes man?
No, you said Pep broke the mold. You said Pep broke the mold. Pep didn't break the mold.
Well, he did. He got the player. Even if he didn't want it, like he still got him. He still did things with him.
But like so that would mean then it would be I don't know who Arsenal's director of football is. That would mean the director of football would get someone Arteta doesn't want.
I do.
Yeah, by the way,
but that happens all the time. Klopp didn't want Salah. What are we doing?
Has that happened to Arsenal? Has that happened to Arsenal?
You're telling me. Yes, you're telling me. Arteta's like, I want. Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say quickly, Sesko, by the way, is going to be Euros.
Okay.
Arteta's the one that came out and put his neck on the line for Havertz.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll give you another thing. So you're telling me he scouted Martinelli. He's like, I want Marquinhos from the 3rd division of Brazil. That's what he said, right? He's like, I want Martinelli from the 2nd division of Brazil, right?
Martinelli was signed.
Yes, but Marquinhos wasn't. Marquinhos was signed a year or two after that, and he's from the 3rd division of Brazil.
Marquinhos, who barely played for Arsenal.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He didn't want that signing, but they still signed him.
And he didn't play.
Okay. So then what about Holland and all that stuff? Like, what are we doing with that then?
You're comparing Holland to Marquinhos.
No, I'm comparing Holland to Osimhen. I'm comparing Holland to Osimhen. I'm comparing Holland to Osimhen.
Marquinhos, who was a kid from Brazil, he was actually free. Arsenal paid money for him, transfer value. Okay. He came to Arsenal. He was sent on loan to Norwich, and then he was basically.
Okay, and then what about Holland? Right, Pep didn't want Holland. He was forced on Holland.
A couple of years later.
Okay, but Pep.
Holland.
Pep didn't want Holland.
Pep wanted him. Yeah. Hold on. Pep wanted Kane. They got Holland, and he made it work. Credit to Pep. Obviously, he's amazing. But I doubt Eddie will go against Arteta.
He made it work because he changed his mold, which is the point that CP is trying to say.
Thank you.
But I doubt change his mold. That's
Arteta would be willing to change his mold because we saw it earlier this season. Yes, he would. He saw it earlier this season.
He wanted Havertz in the 8. He wanted Havertz in the 8. He wanted Havertz in the 8. And he told his mold to strike Havertz as striker.
And then once he switched back to the football he was playing before, where he was playing more attacking stuff, he got better results.
Arteta changed his mold for a player he put his neck on the line for. Brilliant. You're not okay.
Arteta changed his mold from the high-flying attack he had last season to a more defensive, pragmatic thing this season. What are we doing now?
For his players that he wanted.
Okay, listen. Again. Guys, none of this matters at the end of the day because, like, we're not even gonna show. We're gonna get Osimhen or Sesko. Yeah. So I really had listen, Marshall, take it from here, my friend.
No. I'm just saying is like at the end of the day, why are we pretending that directors can't just get a player based on the hype, like always happens in all of football, and then the managers just has to deal with it?
I just think again. I just think.
I'm not saying it can't, by the way, but like it. I'm not saying it can't, but it hasn't. Arteta
just like Osimhen coming to Chelsea doesn't happen. Yeah, we're talking hypotheticals.
Arteta, we're not though. I'm just going off of what has happened. Arteta and Edu have worked together to get the players that they want, that suit this Arteta's style of play. You mentioned Havertz, who Arteta put his neck on the line for, played him in the 8, and then played him as a false 9. Going from an attacking to a more pragmatic style.
There's a bunch of other, but again, there's a bunch of other ones that we're ignoring, that we're pretending were Arteta's style of play, We're not mentioning Zinchenko. We're not mentioning Thomas Partey.
He wanted Zinchenko, bro.
He wanted Zinchenko.
Come on.
Yeah, but look at how Zinchenko's working out for them. Now they're looking.
Yeah,
he's playing Kivior. He's playing Kivior.
We think Zinchenko is terrible. He rates.
Arteta's
but he's playing Kivior now instead of Zinchenko.
Yeah,
Exactly. He's not serving his system.
Kivier's Arteta's signing. It's Arteta and Edu signing is what I'm saying. Them collaborating together.
I know, so that's what I mean.
Every
Like,
signing is.
I don't see why necessarily.
Yeah, what are we doing? Like,
Every signing is a collaboration of Arteta.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys have to remember.
What I'm saying is, it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense for Edu to go sign a player for a lot of money that overrides Arteta's signing from last summer that he put his neck on the line for. That wouldn't, to me, that doesn't make sense. If I'm a manager, why would you sign someone to replace a guy that I literally had to vouch for last summer? That doesn't make sense to me.
Because he wasn't good enough.
Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish. They got Jeremy Doku playing on the left wing, who is not a possession-based, losing the ball winger.
And I do want to wrap it up, guys, because we're approaching.
Doku and Grealish has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
It's very simple.
Like, it's just one of those situations where, like, it didn't suit. It didn't. You think the player suits your system, and then he doesn't suit the system. I think Arteta did put his neck out on the line for Havertz. It didn't actually suit the position he wanted to play him because no one seems to understand he's number 10, and you have Odegaard already. But I only understand that. But anyways,
get this forward out, man. Get this forward out here. Get this forward out here.
My point is that at the end of the day, all of us here on this panel, even the Arsenal fans, understand that we still need a striker. They still need a striker. Gabriel Jesus is not good enough. Havertz is not good enough. They still need a striker. So at the end of the day, I don't see how Osimhen is outlandish. It could happen. There could be discussions. There are links out there. It could happen. And they have the money because apparently they got into Champions League and, there is money there. I was under the assumption that they weren't going to do any more purchases, but I don't know. I think it could happen. Final thoughts?
I'll just say quickly, I think a big problem Arsenal will have in that sort of situation is the fact that their outgoing businesses, on average, is very poor. They don't bring in a lot of money on player sales. And that's what, back when we were in the Champions League and able to make all the big signings like Lukaku and all that, we funded a lot of that based on our player sales. They can't do that. They're selling like Smith Rowe and people like that. Smith Rowe has no value in the current market. And there are many other examples in their squad too.
Thank you, Oliver.
But aren't they doing Nketiah and Smith Rowe for 45 million? Like that's still
no, but it wasn't. Their net spend has always been in the negative.
No, I agree. I'm saying this summer though, they're trying to get rid of these.
They're trying to do stuff. Obviously, we're hearing about the Fulham.
They also tried last summer as well.
Yeah,
and
they've been trying a lot, man. They've been trying a lot before, man. There's just some clubs, by the way, no matter what way you slice it, they're just not good at selling. You know what I mean? That's all it is, man.
They can't all be Chelsea. That's all I'm saying.
They can't all be Chelsea or Man City. I'll be real. Man City is very good at selling, by the way. Underrated sellers, by the way, Man City.
Yeah.
But we move.
Let's wrap it up, boys, because it's been.
I helped you there.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. But ladies and gents, we're wrapping it up. Smash up the like button because we're only 11 likes away from hitting that 100 like mark. And there's 170 you guys in the chat as we speak. Many of you who are watching on Twitter, 98 of you watching on Twitter. Like the tweet or like the stream, retweet it, whatever you want to do. All of it's appreciated. Thank you so much for your support, everyone. Thank you for tuning on to the show. This is a lengthy one. I'm sorry about that. If you're watching this at work, you get a little bonus extra few minutes there because there was a lot to discuss. There was a lot of news, and we wrapped it up. Should be a little bit more condensed going forward. I apologize for that. But, guys, as always, smash up the likes if you haven't done so already. Subscribe if you're new here because we are on our way to 3K. Helps us out tremendously. Be sure to check out the comment section. Let us know your thoughts on everything we discuss as well. Check out the links in the description. We have Ahmed's channel down there, the Bridge 258. We have Prime's channel down there as well, his Twitch channel. You can check him out on Twitch and Twitter, all the fun stuff. Discord's on there, a bunch of links for extra content in the description, so be sure to check it out. The description does go under the radar quite often. Let's pick up on that and start, getting some more interaction with the links in there. And lastly, check out the memberships, guys, because we do have 4 different tiers of memberships starting at 99p. If you want to help out the channel, memberships are the way to go. And if you are a proper casual member and higher, we give shout outs at the end of every show. I do have to update this list. I feel like there's a few people missing. I will update it for the next stream, I promise. But the shout outs are going to go to B-Man, JC, Ishi, EE, Hassan Nawaz, Uncle Jester FC, Will, OG Triple Jesus, Dark, Adrian, Pelu, Coco624, The Danzo, Gabriel A, Edib, Eki Sitid, Joel, and A Soliman. I will get the rest of those shout outs in there for next show, I promise. Next show will be a call-in show, ladies and gents. Oh, DHL, you also get a shout out because you are a proper casual. The next show, ladies and gents, will be Wednesday, and it will be a call-in show. You guys get to have your say on whatever you want to discuss. Likely we will be discussing Enzo Maresca because I'm sure this week he will be announced. It's going to be curious to see what happens with that. So be sure to tune in to our show on Wednesday to come in and have your say on Enzo Maresca, so on and so forth, any Chelsea news that we might be talking about. We are going to be rating out to United Spurs of America. I was going to rate out to Staffy, but Staffy ended up ending his show. So we're going to go to United Spurs of America, who's also on. Check us out Tuesday for American Waffle. We will be together discussing Euros on American Waffle, picking our Euros team and having fun with that. So support the other channel that I broadcast on as well, which is American Waffle. You can check out that in the playlist on my channel. But guys, go and show your love to Jacob with this casually rated message. Copy and paste and spam it. Let them know where you're coming from. And as always, guys, we'll see you on Wednesday for the call-in show, or Tuesday. You'll see me on American Waffle, and we'll discuss then. But as always, stay casual. Have a good night, and peace.
Tukala.